As we're kind of getting in, does anyone want to start us off with like a recap, what they recall from last time, what was going on?
All right, so the alien like fucked up Cham. It turns out he's a robot or whatever, but he switched spacesuits so that nobody could see the bloody blood. And then the mother of what's it called? Basically the Nostromo. There's the Cronus and the like whatever the fuck.
The Montero, the viewership.
Montero, yeah.
Yep.
It said, "Hey, I'm gonna blow up in like 10 minutes. You better do something." And then the entire crew of that ship, except for like Wilson, who was welded into the med bay, decided they would do their best impression of Wheatley from Portal 2 when Aperture Science was about to have a meltdown, and did like almost nothing to stop it. They actually did nothing to stop it. They just made it not happen nearby.
Yeah, poor Miller.
Yeah.
Exploded in the process of trying to save
Yeah.
part of the helium-3 cargo, the valuable gas that you guys were shipping to Sutter's World originally. That did not go well.
Yeah, but thankfully that ship is gone now, and a new one has arrived.
Right.
Containing
Satilla.
pirates. Yeah, and it looks like, in a miracle of solidarity, Team Wilson decided to abandon Wilson and have reunited, or maybe freshly united, with Team Cham. And also, the pirates who boarded seem to now also be part of this big, friendly team. Meanwhile, Wilson's over in a cubby somewhere, dying of, like, super space ligma. He sent the one scientist.
He's also dying from betrayal a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
A little B.
That's why I used ligma. It's the most ambiguous disease.
Right. You had Valerie, you had crawled into the ventilation system while on deck C. You've currently got Mickey Horton, the child engineer of the Sotillo, kind of held up. He's dropped his incinerator. He's kind of started to cry a bit. Pin and from the Sotillo and Helen Bean from the Sotillo are kind of walking up, trying to go, like, wondering what is Mickey currently has his hands up and he's crying and stuff, so they're trying to check out what's going on. And why don't we enter back into that scene?
All right.
Quick question.
Yes, go ahead.
I was too far. I was making coffee while Laz was talking. What is ligma?
Ligma balls.
Oh, okay.
I was hoping that Matt was going to ask that question, but then he didn't.
Yeah, it's what Obama died of.
All right. We did forget a quick recap with what Kayla Rye, Captain Balaji, and Liam Flynn were talking about. What was going on there?
I'm info dumping on him, hoping that I got a new job because I just gave up hope. My ship blew up, and now I don't know what I'm doing.
I remember that we tentatively agreed to help as long as he would point out, because he said people weren't trustworthy, who the untrustworthy ones are.
Yeah, I also made sure to mention that he had the valuable thing. He had the most valuable thing, or at least so I believe.
Too. We want that.
Right. And I think Liam Flynn had come up. He was racing into storage when you initially spotted him, and then he came up. Has he shared information about the inoculation with you guys yet?
Oh yeah, he did. We want that too.
He did.
Valerie gave one vial to each of them.
To Ryan Flynn, you mean?
Yeah. Oh, not Rye. No. To Cham and what's name? Maybe it was Ryan Sham.
Yeah, it was me. It was me. I haven't mentioned it yet in conversation with the new crew that arrived. Because I'm also not sure if I'm taking it yet because I have a spacesuit currently. But I'm like, I don't know. At this point, my character is all which way.
Gotcha. So as you guys are having that conversation, Rye, you're standing kind of behind where you hear a noise coming from the vent where Albert Johns, the second in command and current captain of the Kronos, was using the incinerator that you had lent him to burn away the air scrubber filters that were covered in these sort of black moat things that you know are causing some sort of sickness on the ship and is turning people into these weird alien creatures. And the noise that you hear is him coughing and sort of spilling out of the ventilation shaft behind you. And as he does this, there's a sort of plume of black smoke and other stuff, and you hear this like whirring noise that's sort of this like kind of loud banging coming from inside the scrubbers. And he's like coughing and spitting up a crap, and he's spitting it out. And he kind of looks down the hallway and is surprised basically to see Rye, that you are now talking to two individuals. Drag him out here. What the? Who are these guys? He walks up to you guys. You can tell that he's now like covered in like soot and like he's all wet and stuff like that. His jacket, he's like wiping it off. He's like trying to get like some of the dust and debris and stuff off. He's got like these like extra fluff and stuff around, and his face is all covered in soot.
I'm gonna remain quiet.
Who is this guy?
He's burning the air.
Are these more people from
Kill
the
you.
Montero? Who is this?
New people, not the Montero.
Not the Mon. Liam. Oh, Captain. They kind of goes over to John. Oh, Captain, you're okay. Why do you look so dirty? John's kind of explains that he's the air scrubbers. I had to turn them off, but I mean, man, the air sucks in there, man.
I'm gonna lean over and whisper to the other captain of the pirate ship. I'm like, I just learned this motherfucker's the captain. That's crazy.
Yeah, well, he's kind of acting captain. He was second in command.
Gotcha. Did you get the ship burnt out?
He's still wiping stuff off of him, and he turns back to you, Ryan, and says, "I'm maybe about a little over halfway done. It's getting hard to breathe in there, man. All of the smoke from the filters and all of I had to turn the air scrubbers off, so there's no oxygen pumping out through them. I'll head back in and finish it up in maybe like 5 minutes. But then it's gonna take a little bit of time, maybe an hour or two, to replace the filters."
We'll take a break. You've been lighting them things on fire for a bit, and yeah, some shit's going crazy out here. So
What do you mean crazy? And who is this again? Who are you guys? John's asking you now, Captain Blasi.
We were just passing by and we seen that there was a ship that exploded nearby, so we were checking to see what was going on.
You've got a ship. How did you dock?
That's not important. What's going on here exactly? Why'd that other ship explode?
John's kind of looks back to you, back to Rye, over to Flynn, and then back to you, Blasi, and he's like, I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
Turns
We
to
were
Rye.
tracking that ship, and that ship looked like it was docked to this one, but
I'm gonna
you
pipe
don't
up
know?
and be like, actually, I'm pretty sure I know the reason it exploded. The company overlord cucks were like, yeah, we don't like what you're doing. We're gonna blow this shit up, and so they blew it up. As far as I remember, because it was a little bit traumatic, because everybody was fucking going crazy. That's why I remember is that the company was like, "You guys are fucked. Get fucked. We're blowing this shit up," and then it blew up. I think some of our crew tried to save it. One of them died. I don't know.
John's just kind of kneeling down. He's like retying his boots and stuff after he's wiping more crap off of his pants and stuff like that. Liam Flynn is just kind of like looking back and forth between you and Rye, Balaji and Rye, not really saying anything. And as John's finishes tying up one of his laces, he stands back up and he says, "Well, look, if you got a ship, I mean, why don't we just leave?"
No, we heard that there's something valuable on here, so we want to take a look around and see what that is. You wouldn't happen to have it, would you?
Flynn kind of sort of peeks up as you say something valuable, and he says, "Oh, you mean the inoculation, like I was talking about earlier?" "Yeah, we've got that somewhere. I think Valerie has them." "Where is she anyway?" Kind of looks around.
Where is she?
And as he asks that, let's pause on this conversation to head back up to where Valerie is, still with Mickey Horton, and Pin. You're just walking up and seeing Mickey. He's holding up his hands. He's got tears running down his face. He's dropped his incinerator onto the ground, which is what sort of alerted you to their presence in the first place. And a couple steps behind you is Helen.
I'm gonna slowly walk up and do the point at my eyes and then point at the wall where I think there's somebody in the vent. That way, the kid knows to look at the person in the vent.
Also, there is like that barrel of like space napalm on the ground right outside the vent.
Right, yeah, you did push that over there. Yeah, so there's this big sort of metal barrel looking thing that's sort of outside of the vent cover. And yeah, Mickey, he glances over without moving his head. He's still got tears on his eyes. He's got to wipe them away a little bit, and he keeps looking straight at you. And Helen walks up. "What the heck's going on? Mickey, what are you doing?" Mickey doesn't respond. He's still just holding with his hands up.
At this point, like Valerie had put away the gun after he dropped the incinerator, and then like talking to him about how there's monsters on the ship,
Right.
and that they need to leave.
I want to try to get closer and see if I can pull whatever's in the vent out of the vent.
Okay. Let's make... maybe a mobility roll.
Is this a contested?
Not yet. Okay. No successes, no stress. Do you want to push this roll? You'll gain 1 stress from doing so. Okay, 1 success. You do panic, but you manage to keep it together. So, you managed to get close enough to the vent, Valerie, without you knowing necessarily that someone has moved up quite that close. If you now want to try to like get into the vent or try and grab Valerie, from here you'll need to make a close combat, and that will be opposed. For Valerie, I would say that you would roll... yeah, I'd say it would be an opposed close combat.
All right.
Okay. You start nervously twitching. You do have 2 successes. Let's see how... 1 success. You also panic, but you manage to keep it together. Okay. So I'm going to say that this is kind of what happens. Pin, you reach through the opened vent cover, slightly open vent cover. You kind of kick it away, and you immediately grab the arm of Valerie Reed, and you start to kind of yank it out. Valerie, as this starts to happen, you grab your left arm, which is now being pulled by something, and you manage to grapple on to Pin. I would say that you guys are now kind of like this.
My other arm free?
So your left arm is currently grabbed. She's got both sort of hands on your left arm, and then you've sort of grabbed onto Pin with your right hand. So you're somewhat grappled at the moment, but you do have you could free up your right hand if you wanted to. You could
Yeah.
let go.
I'm going to put hand on gun and point gun to Pin.
Okay.
Say
So
like hands off.
if we're gonna do that, I'd say we have to initiate combat.
Okay.
Let me start an encounter.
I'm just threatening right now.
Then we'll see who kind of gets the initiative. So on your token, you want to right click, and in I think it's the bottom right hand corner, there should be toggle combat state, I think it's called.
Yeah, I think I got it.
Where is toggle combat state?
So on your token, your character token, you would right click it. And then in the bottom, there's a little, yeah, there we go. Ooh, okay. So Pin, you do get to go first. So you get a fast action and a slow action. You currently have Valerie grappled. So you can make a close combat roll. There's more player information and in-game info, I believe. On grappling. Close combat.
I see
Or
resolution
not grappling.
blocking.
So if you grapple your opponent as a stunt in close combat, both you and your opponent fall to the ground. You're kind of already in a... the opponent drops any weapon they were holding. You weren't holding a weapon at that time, so you don't drop it. The only action they can perform is attempt to break free, which is a slow action that succeeds if the opponent wins an opposed close combat roll again. While you are grappling, the only action you can perform, apart from releasing your opponent, is a grapple attack. This works as a normal unarmed attack, but is a fast action and cannot be blocked.
So I don't want to attack, I just want to keep him grappled. And then let the person come down the hallway.
Okay. You want to say anything to this person as you're kind of holding on to them? I would say that this would be kind of your
Make a
action.
habit of making small children cry.
Don't spend time around them mostly. What the fuck are you doing bringing one into a place like this?
Part of the crew, Captain brought him along. Now you're coming with me, alright?
Who the fuck are you?
Either your new best friend or your worst nightmare.
There's worse things on this ship than anything, than any person.
Yeah, so I've heard. Think you guys might have went a little space crazy out here. I haven't seen anything since we boarded the ship. If I let you go, are you gonna run away?
Where would I go?
I'm gonna release him.
Awesome. Okay. So you take your you release both of your hands from sort of from Valerie's left arm. Valerie, the grapple is now broken. You now got a turn yourself. You're no longer, I would say, in combat, but what do you want to do next?
I want to like put my hands on my gun, and I want it to like not be obvious that armed and arming myself even.
You just want to kind of put your hand on the holster in some way?
Yeah.
Or you want to... Okay, gotcha.
And
Okay.
be sneaky about it.
Okay. I'd say that you would be able to kind of do that. You're in kind of a dark vent. It's a little hard to see. It's a little scrunched in there. Pin, what do you want to do in sort of the next sort of like 5 seconds after letting go of Valor? I'd say by this time, Helen has kind of walked up. She's gonna say, "The heck's going on? Mickey, what's wrong with you?"
Found
Mickey's gonna run to Helen, kind of fall into her arms a bit. Messed up the tokens then. That's good enough.
ran into one of their crew hiding along the vent line.
Helen's got like one arm kind of around Mickey and kind of looks up at both of you, kind of halfway and sort of standing in the vent with Valerie kind of there, and says, "Oh yeah, we're talking to, I think 2 or 3 of them down there. Everything all right?"
Everything's peachy. Would you say your name was Vent Dweller?
Don't think I did.
Vent dweller.
Ah,
Well, Helen's gonna
Doesn't
he's
really
gonna
matter.
turn with Mickey and say, "Well, come on, let's go. Everyone's talking down below. We should join them. Come on, Mickey."
All right, I'll make my way
Starts
over.
to walk away. Valerie, what are you doing in that when
I'm
they
going
begin to
to
turn?
hang tight until everyone's already started going.
Okay. Let's say they take a couple steps to make it down to about here, and you're kind of hanging back.
yep. We'll let this strange vent person lead the way.
All right.
Gotcha.
Val will hold tight in this Mexican standoff.
You go to offer like help to kind of get Valerie out of the vent. How do you want to do this? We could maybe do a manipulation roll to kind of sort of gain her trust. See how that plays out. How do we want to play this? Valerie, do you want to say anything to Pin? You can see that Pin's clearly waiting kind of for you to kind of come out of the vent.
After you.
Meh. It's whatever. They're not gonna attack me. Got crew on this ship.
Okay, so Pin starts to walk away as well. Still hanging back?
Yeah.
No, Valerie will climb out of the vent once Val is a couple steps away, and then like follow behind.
Okay.
By like 15 or so feet with like hand on the holster.
Pin, before you I guess step away from the area, you do notice that Mickey kind of dropped his incinerator on the ground over there. Want to pick that up at all?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I think that's a reasonable thing for you to do. So, you go ahead and throw that into your inventory in just a moment. You've kind of got this slung up on you kind of pick it up from the ground, you've got it slung over your shoulder, and you kind of begin to walk kind of back towards where Mickey and Helen are now making their way past kind of the cross section there. definitely locked a door. Rye, Balaji, as you guys are having your conversation, you do see that Helen is walking with Mickey kind of like slung under her shoulder. Mickey looks to be a little bit upset. And behind, a few steps away, is Pin kind of walking back.
What happened? Is everyone okay?
It looks like the kid ran into one of this ship's crew. Maybe the Montero crew. We didn't get that far.
What do you mean ran into them? What happened?
Mickey, he stopped crying for a little bit, but he looks kind of sad, depressed, and says, one of them is in the vent, and
I'm gonna interrupt him. I'm gonna go. It's like I said, Captain. Everybody's afraid for their lives at this point. As far as I'm aware, you're the captain of the ship. At this point, are you able to take care of these people, or are they freaking out so bad that everybody's fighting each other? I think everybody just wants a way out of here. It really just depends on if that can happen.
Well, you want a way out of here, and I want a payday. So,
I feel like most of the people who are already on this ship are just looking for a safe way home, seeing as they're trapped on this ship. I also just want a payday, but I want to get paid so I can send my money somewhere else. I can't do that if I'm dead. I'm not looking for, everything. I'm just looking to keep what I earn. I feel like that's understandable. This person back here behind you, part of the crew, probably part of the science crew. They probably have, the only thing they probably want to do is get the fuck out of here. If they don't, damn, that's dumb. But like I said, everybody's kind of going crazy. So I've been called the captain. I've heard this person over here be called the captain, but I don't think he is a captain. Johns, are you a captain?
Johns is he's finally wiped all of the stuff off of his face that was initially there, and kind of looks at you and says, I mean, yeah, for all intents and purposes, I'm the only officer left.
So that doesn't sound to me like he's a captain. That sounds like he needs a strong captain to get him the fuck out of here. I don't think any of these people have an attachment to what's really on here. This is all company shit. The same company that blew up my ship. So it's a good chance to bolster your resources. But again, a lot of people are dying. So everybody's kind of going crazy. So I'm just hoping we can all just keep it together.
So Valerie, as you were walking back, sort of as you got to the crossroads, you kind of noticed there may be something off, or maybe you heard something. You want to make an observation roll to check that out?
I'll take the observation chance.
No success, no stress. Do you want to push that at all?
Sure, let's do it.
Two successes,
What do I
you
see?
do manage
Where's
to keep
the
it
monster?
together. So as you're kind of back you up a little bit too, out here. As you're kind of walking down this hallway, you can hear that the air scrubbers are on. It's really, really kind of loud, but you swear that you see something off in the distance, just past the doorway. Run past. And you swear
like
there's
out
like
here?
yeah, exactly. You swear that there's some sort of shadow, some sort of something that seems to have made its way down, like is making its way south on the catwalk. And as you approach, you see Rai is having this conversation with Balaji, as Helen and Pin are both standing there, sort of comforting Mickey, who's still, he stopped crying, but he's still upset.
How do I rotate my token?
I think
Without
if you have it
moving.
selected, it's like control, and then with your like a mouse wheel, I think. Maybe that's not right.
yeah, no, that's right.
Control, and then I like scroll? Oh, I
Yeah.
see.
Yeah, like that. Yeah. It's a
Alright,
little
I'm
awkward,
gonna
but-
keep my eyes like down this hallway.
Okay.
A little eavesdropping in. trying to figure out who says what and what's going on.
Locking that door accident. Okay, yeah. So as you kind of notice this and you see sort of down the hallway a bit, you start to overhear John's responding to Rye as he says, "Yeah, look, man, I'm happy to keep repairing the ship. I'll go back to the air scrubbers in just a second here, but hey, if we got a way off of here, I'm more than willing to bail. You know what I mean? I mean, if you need something valuable, we have the inoculations." He turns to Flynn, right? I mean,
I'm gonna tap him on the shoulder and be like, "That's what I'm talking about, my second-rate captain. You see what I mean?"
Well, we know about the vaccines, and we know there's something else valuable on this ship, too. We do want the vaccines, though. Or inoculations.
John's kind of looks back at you and says, "Listen, if you want to venture to wherever that stuff was, I thought that was all on the research module, but maybe there's some other labs and stuff on the ship. If you want to go grab that, that's fine. Should I even finish the air scrubbers then?" He's kind of turning to you, Rye.
Well, it depends on the captain here. I thought you might want a ship, but it depends on how unsalvageable this is. At first, I mean, it was, hey, we need to live here, but if we have a way off, let's just, get what we can and get the fuck off.
As you say that, you start to hear some banging against this doorway down the hallway behind you, and it's so loud that Johns turns around and audibly gasps a little bit and jumps. What the fuck was that?
Is this more of your crew?
Liam immediately starts running.
Hey! I was asking you the same thing. I don't know. Like I said, there are worse things than you guys with guns, which is why I'm not too pressed about, you guys being on here and all that. But I don't know what's going on here. Where's he
As you
going?
say
He's
that,
obviously
you can
way
see
too
Liam
spooked.
turning around the corner. Balaji, Pin, anything you guys want to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna take out my gun.
Okay, you take out your gun.
I'm gonna aim up the flamethrower and stand next to the captain.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take Overwatch position. Can I do that or not? Why I'm not in combat?
Yeah, you can activate that while you're not in combat. There's no time
okay.
between now and then.
Then I'd like to do
if
that.
that is what's happening. So yeah, definitely. So you guys are taking aim kind of down the hallway at this door as you hear more banging against it, and then you hear as the doorway opens. And you see this creature. Kind of like the door is opening on its own. He's kind of busted it up enough that it's kind of like slashed in a way that it's not totally kind of like spreading across the way it kind of should. But this creature kind of steps through the debris, looks directly kind of at John's, and sees all of you guys kind of standing there. At this point, we are going to start some combat.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead and toggle your combat states.
There's no combat encounter in your currently viewed scene.
Important. Oh.
All good.
There you go. I'm just gonna say in passing as I showed it up, that motherfucker knew about this somehow.
Yeah, Johns turns back to you and says, "What the fuck?" As he starts to sort of panic and like back away. Maybe do about here. Okay, let me fix up Valerie. We got Balaji. We got Rye. Let me get Johns. Mickey and Helen, I don't think would be in combat quite so yet, because they're still kind of up the hallway, a couple meters away from you guys. And Valerie, you're still up above the hallway. You're aware now that something is probably coming, though, so weapon drawn, all that kind of good stuff. Yep.
Well, Valerie was aware before. She just didn't want to tell anyone so that they could really find out that there are monsters here.
Awesome. Okay. Drawing initiative. Holy shit, bad initiatives for the Neomorph, good initiatives for you guys. Alright. So, Albert Johns looks like he gets to go first. Game info, actions. Let's double check what he is going to do. Let's see. John still has the incinerator on him, so I think he is going to turn, and he's going to get that ready to go. He's not close enough to actually fire at the thing, so he's going to assume Overwatch. He sees that all of you guys are also kind of pinned up and kind of ready to go, and that seems to be giving him a little bit of confidence, whereas before it looked like he was about to maybe break, same as Liam did. Let me turn him around. Got his incinerator out.
At the range of the xenomorph, is that, can we even engage?
So, depends on what weapon you're firing at it. So, for example, for your Watatsumi gun, it is short range, so no, you wouldn't be able to be in range of it by this far, because I would say that this is medium range. But, let's see, for Balaji, you have a service pistol that is medium range, so you would be able to fire at it. And then Pin, you have either the incinerator or the Magnum. Which are medium range, actually. I thought those were short range. So, okay, yeah, actually, that changes what Johns is going to maybe do then. Because he can actually fire the... he has both the pistol and the incinerator, but he's got the incinerator out. I think he's going to try and use that then, instead of going into Overwatch. Let's roll that for him. That private. Ooh, okay, so he lets loose with the incinerator as he turns around, but maybe because he's still panicking a little bit, he's still nervous, he was about to maybe break and run, he got a little bit of his confidence back, he turns, he lets loose on the, his flamethrower, but it doesn't actually hit the Neomorph at all. Okay, that is John's turn. Next up, where did John's go? Well, now he's behind Valerie in turn order, but we'll just skip it. So Valerie, it's your turn now. Oh wait, were you in combat?
No.
Valerie is not... yeah, Valerie is just going to assume Overwatch of this area in the back and make sure nothing can sneak up.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, then in that case, it would be Balaji's turn. Captain Balaji, your actions.
Okay, well, I was in Overwatch. Would that have procced or no?
Yeah, if you wanted to take a shot already, sort of before your turn, sort of on Albert John's turn, you could totally do that.
Yeah, I wanted to do that with the Overwatch, if I can.
Yeah, make me a ranged combat roll with your service pistol.
Oh, it still says Miller, but I'm not Miller anymore.
Gotcha. Okay, but yeah, one success. It deals what? 1 damage. Okay. So yeah, you kind of let loose with this thing. You fire a shot at it. Where's my? It hits. You hear it take the impact. It lets out a little kind of noise. And you now lose Overwatch. That is your, I believe that counts as your slow action. So now you have a fast action left. What do you want to, or yeah, what do you want to do with that fast action?
Okay, one moment. Am going to use the second thing to reposition backwards a little bit in like the doorway.
Okay. Do you mean the doorway above you, kind of like where Mickey is, or do you mean the doorway is kind of to your south, like down this way?
The doorway above me, but not the one to the left, the one to the right. So I still have like an angle on that corner.
Okay, so you want to back up to about like here,
Yeah.
spinning around there. Okay. I would say you wouldn't be able to get the door open because you kind of have to move and kind of get over there, but you could definitely get back over to there. And as you do, you've seen that Helen and Mickey have also kind of backed up to about, let's say, here. And yeah, okay, that is Captain Balaji's turn. We now move to Kayla Rai. Your actions.
I'm gonna scream, fire that gun at it, even though it can't hit it, and run. Run
Okay.
up towards Valerie and the kids.
Run up towards Valerie and the kids. Okay, got it. Let's see. That can count as, I guess, 2 fast actions if you'd want. You can run twice. Does that make sense? Or run and move through door / hatch.
How far do I get?
Not the same as Captain Balaji. You're kind of in the same role.
Excellent. Is 15 meters close or medium?
Yeah, that would be short range, I would say. Yeah.
Alright, yeah. I'm all set.
Okay.
I'm gonna scream. I'm still gonna scream. Ah!
Gotcha. Yeah, you let out a good roar. So there we go. We have Kayla Rai's turn. Pin, did you already go?
Not since combat started, no.
Interesting. Why is your initial... Maybe I skipped you, and I apologize if that's the case.
No, it's no worries.
So, okay, your
I think
actions, please, then.
Alright, I'm gonna yell at the vent lady, hey, go get that barrel and roll it down here.
Valerie?
And- Yeah. And then I'm gonna step. Actually, I'm gonna just go into Overwatch and wait till it gets close enough so that I can hit it with the incinerator.
Okay, yeah, you can do that.
Taunt the aliens? No.
Yeah, not really. But okay, so that would be your turn then. So now we've got the alien's turn, our neomorph. Let's see. So... Ooh, okay. So this thing is incredibly fast. Is able to traverse 2 zones as a slow action. So it gets right up onto Albert Johns here. That would be its slow action. Now it has a fast action. Those are really applicable, but it has another turn. Okay, now I'm gonna roll its attack. Ooh. Okay, so the Neomorph, what it does is that as it's kind of running up to John's, it jumps at him. It lands just shy of where Albert John's ends. It rolls no successes on its attacks, and so it just kind of lands kind of directly in front of him. Now, unfortunately for Albert John's, the Neomorph gets to go twice because it's just so goddamn fast. So it's again going to attack him as a slow action. Let's see how that goes.
Come on, miracles.
Ooh, okay. So, pivoting its body, the Neomorph slashes at Albert Johns with its sharp tail. He takes 2 damage. It is armor piercing, so it halves his armor rating, which he doesn't have any of in the first place, and so he takes 2 damage. Okay. Then, as it has a fast action, I still believe. And one second, I'm just double checking its double checking its ability to grapple. Okay, okay. So instead what the Neomorph is going to do is it lets out another sort of screaming kind of noise. And I want everybody kind of in the area, including Mickey, Horton, and Bean, up to Valerie. You each take 1 stress, or gain 1 stress. Okay, so that is the Neomorph's turn. That is round 1, finished up. Looking at the turn order as we have it right now, it looks like Valerie would go next. So Valerie, you've now heard Pin yell at you to go get this the canister of napalm that was kind of up near the vent, and you've now heard this Neomorph thing scream as it attacked Johns, who is now kind of yelped out in pain as this thing has slashed through, kind of like and done some damage to him. What do you want to do?
How far can I go with 1 fast action?
So typically you can go about 1 zone, which I would say would get you, yeah, pretty much about there. I would say it would be like the max that you'd be able to go. You could use 2 fast actions to run twice if you wanted to get up to the vent, I would say.
I'm trying to figure out how to get out of ruler mode.
Top left, there's like a measuring distance thing. I think you just have to go up to the top left one.
I got it.
Nice.
So is this door right here already open?
Yeah, all those doors are open.
This is the one that has the barrels, right?
No, that's the one right above it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna get to the barrel.
Okay.
And like shout down the hallway, keep my fucking crew safe!
Yeah, so I would say you would be able to get up there. You'd be able to get your hands on the barrel. You can pick it up if you want to. Or do you want to do anything with the barrel, or how do you want to go about it?
Can I like try to kick it down the hallway so that it rolls towards them?
Yeah, I would say that you would be able to start rolling this thing down down the hallway if you wanted to. No roll needed. You're just kind of able to do that as part of, I would say, your fast action. Okay?
All right, cool.
Awesome. Okay. So I say it rolls maybe. So you've got like a couple squares in front of you, maybe 3 squares it gets to in front of you. as you kind of kick this thing, or sort of like, I don't know, bowling ball roll it kind of down the hallway. It's pretty sizable, this thing, and it's heavy, but there's some gas inside of it, so it might get some centrifugal force. I didn't say that right, but you know, it'll get some force behind it as it moves. Okay?
All right, cool.
All right, Pin, your turn. Your actions, please.
Right, I'm going to, well, is it a fast action or slow action to swap out to the Magnum?
Good question. Let me double check.
Actually, I should ask first. Can
Draw
I hit
weapon
the
is a
thing with
fast
the
action.
incinerator?
Sorry, say again?
Can I hit that thing with the incinerator without burning John's?
You can certainly try.
Yeah, I'll try to shoot the alien with the flamethrower.
Excellent. Give me a roll on it. Either a ranged combat or you can click on the incinerator itself. Excellent roll. Yes, so you do get a stunt if there's any applicable.
Check the stun stage. I'll take the pin target.
Okay, awesome. So let's double check the incinerator here. Oops. I may have made you roll on that. I did make you roll on that. Reduce your stress. We're not panicking. So it does 2 damage. Fire intensity 9. That's what I needed to check. Okay. So first fire, this thing has an armor of 3, so let me do that. No successes on its armor roll. So it takes 2 hits, takes the 2 damage. Is that... There we go. Takes the 2 damage, and then you pin it, so it's not able to take its next fast action, I believe. Is that how that works?
I do not know.
Yeah, let me double check.
Yes.
Yes, thank you. So that's how that'll work, and it's also now on fire. So it'll start taking some damage each turn. Okay, so that is Pin's turn. It's now John's turn. So John, what is John going to do? John is going to retreat. So let me make him a mobility roll. Nice, he gets 2 successes on his mobility roll. And he's going to take a +1 to avoiding the same thing in the future, or making a roll on the same thing in the future. He's going to be able to back up. He gets down the hallway. He goes this way. He's now going to turn around and he will assume Overwatch, and that will be his 2 fast actions. Okay. We now turn to Captain Balaji. Captain Balaji, you are in Overwatch, in the doorway. The door isn't quite open, but you're kind of taking you're leaning against kind of the edge there, looking down the hall. You see Payne is kind of also down the hallway, looking at the same thing. You saw John's run away. You can't see the alien from where you are currently. What do you want to do with your actions?
I want to... I'm just gonna open the door that's next to me and say an Overwatch.
Okay. you get that door open. Do you want to go into the doorway at all a little bit, or do you want to stay right where you are?
I'll go here so I still have like an angle down at the hallway.
Okay. Might be okay. Maybe like there-ish, so you can see a little bit more, right? Okay, vision. Is that good?
Yeah, wait, then I'd have to, could I use another fast action to open that other door or no?
Yeah, you're kind of in the hatch, I guess, so yeah, it would be kind of like moving to another zone, to kind of do that. Yeah, I guess you could open this door.
Okay, then that's my turn.
Okay, that's Captain Balaji's turn. So now we turn to Kayla Rai. Rai, you're in somewhat of a similar situation as Captain Balaji. You're kind of aiming down the hallway. You're not in Overwatch, but you also can't see the Xenomorph from here. You're at just
Overwatch is the fast action?
yes, it uses up your slow action to get you into Overwatch, so you wouldn't have a slow action next turn.
Moving 10 meters.
As a
right?
fast action, assume Overwatch position in a specified direction. As long as you're not engaged, this means that you aim. Between the time you assume Overwatch position and your time to act in the next round, you can fire a weapon against them. Firing when in Overwatch position counts as a normal attack, a slow action. Therefore, you must save your slow action in the round for any Overwatch attack you want to make. Okay, yeah, you want to move over closer to kind of the captain and then assume Overwatch, I'm assuming?
Yeah, I want to get right behind the door, but I'm still in the hallway, and I want to turn a little bit, but I fucked up here.
All good. Okay. All right. So that is Rai's actions. All right. So now we turn to the Xenomorph. It is the Xenomorph's turn.
I thought you said
And-
Neo before.
You're right. It is a Neomorph. It's still it counts as anyway. So
It's
yeah,
still bad.
the Neomorph is still focused on Albert Johns. It runs around the corner, and as it does, Johns is going to take his Overwatch shot and is going to fire at it with the incinerator. Pin, Captain Balaji, Kayla Rai, do you want to do anything as this thing comes around the corner?
I'm also
Yeah,
going to
I'm
take my
gonna
Overwatch
use
shot.
my Overwatch.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, let it rip. Everybody make me some rolls as I get Johns going. Oh boy.
Oh, no.
Okay, so let me back up to see what has happened. Okay, so Pin, you rolled 3 successes. You have a nervous twitch, so you've raised the stress level of all friendly NPCs around you, which is... Oh, that's a questionable distance away. I would say Albert definitely gets hit by the stress, as he's only 4. You guys are about 5 squares away. I'll be generous and say that Captain Balaji and Rai, you don't gain the stress from Pin here. Pin, you do shoot at this thing. You do have 2 stunts. What do you want to do with your 2 stunts?
Try to pin it again and
Okay.
check the stun.
Yep, so you're definitely able to pin it. And then what was the second one?
I'm looking it up. 1 second.
No problem.
+1 damage.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Better yet, target falls.
Okay, you want the target to fall to the ground. Awesome, okay.
Yeah.
Let me roll against its armor. Okay, 1 success. So it takes 1 damage from your incinerator. And that will be, and then it also kind of collapses and is now kind of prone on the ground. At the exact same time, Kayla Rai, you have rolled a panic. Flee. You just can't take it anymore. You must flee to a safe place and refuse to leave it. You won't attack anyone, and you won't attempt anything dangerous. You're not allowed to make a retreat roll if you have an enemy at engage range, which you do not. Your stress level is decreased by 1, so go ahead and do that if you haven't already. But every friendly character who sees you run must make an immediate panic roll.
Are you reading mine?
Yes, this is for you, Kayla.
Are we in Act 2? Have I done long
No,
haul
we are
thing?
now in Act 3.
Oh, can I do my long haul thing where I ignore my ones? Is that not possible
yes, I think so.
here? The long haul.
Or if you have a story point, I think too, right?
One
Or
per
no?
act, cinematic play. You can ignore all ones from a single roll.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so you would negate this panic condition. You remove your panic, and then you gained stress from that, right? Or were you at 7 stress already?
Well, he lost his stress from it.
Well, no, it's not happening now, so that's not going to happen.
I'm pretty sure it automatically hit the card.
It automatically hit it. So you were at 8?
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay, so we go back to 8.
You said everybody raised their stress. I'm pretty sure I said it from 7 to 8. Cause I've been sitting at like 6 and 7, 7 plus like most of the game.
Gotcha. Okay. And yeah, sorry, I forgot to mention, everybody should have their Act 3 agendas in their character sheet if they don't have it already. Let me know. So okay, yeah, so instead of that panic roll, you just roll a nothing, a no success on your Overwatch. You would be able to push that roll then, because you're not panicking.
Does Valerie have the same agenda as before?
Yeah, Valerie and some of the other characters, they don't have changing agendas like that. So you
Okay.
might just have the same agenda at the moment. But you can still do your own character development if you want to change anything up. Yeah, totally appropriate. So okay, so Kayla, you can decide if you want to push your roll again, which just make another roll with your bolt gun. And then we'll resolve Captain Balaji's roll. So you had 2 successes here. You're hitting it with your service pistol. What do you want to do with your stun?
More damage.
Extra damage, okay. So let me roll its armor. Ooh, no successes on its armor. Okay. You have broken the xenomorph together, and we haven't even resolved Albert Johns' incinerator attack yet, so that's great. So let me roll its critical. Ooh, okay. Instant death. The alien is torn apart or crushed amidst shrieks of rage, severely mutilated, and is now lying dead on the ground. It's also on fire still, so good to mention that. But yeah, that will end combat there. Trying to decide which music to put on. Boom, that is the end of combat.
Well, what the fuck was that thing?
I'm gonna vomit.
Yeah, you
and
gotta
lean
let
up
it
against the
rip.
wall,
You super
completely
fucking
out
stressed
of it.
out. Just so like, oh, Jesus Christ, another one of these fucking things.
Roll the barrel over. All right, so we're leaving now, right?
See
Does
John's
everyone
down the
understand
hallway,
there's
just
no reason to
panting.
stay?
He's grabbing his
Who
shoulder
are
where
you?
he got attacked.
There's no reason for us to stay. Nothing on the ship is worth that.
Who are you?
I'm Valerie Reed, security officer of the Cronus.
You're Valerie. They said you had a vaccine on you.
Yeah?
Okay, we're going to need that.
Yeah, I can hand it out once we get off this fucking ship, because we
How many
can just
more of
leave
them
right
are
now.
there, Valerie?
I don't know. Too many. Too many for us.
The vaccine. Can we reproduce it?
I'm not a fucking scientist. I don't know that shit. I just know that we need to leave.
John's is
Let's
still panting
go.
down the hallway.
Agreed.
He hears your question, Ryan. He's like, Dr. Cooper and Flynn developed it. I don't know what the process was.
You have enough for me and my crew?
Absolutely. Let's go.
Where is
People
this
are in your crew.
other one that has... Ray mentioned someone with something valuable on them.
Is it worth more than your life? How much good is it to you if you're dead?
And as you say that, Valerie, we're going to cut the scene here for a moment. And we're going to transition to the Cronus exterior, where Cham, our synthetic Lucas, is out on the exterior of the Cronus. You've got about, I would say, 20 or so minutes out here by yourself in order to do something. What are you kind of up to?
How are the ships connected?
As far as the Sotillo and the Cronus?
Yeah.
So, judging from the sort of blast that you, I guess, would have heard from sort of the impact that the Sotillo made, even from kind of from your exterior, the Sotillo blew their way through the airlock down on Deck D in order to connect their kind of like rigid, short kind of umbilical that they then went through their own kind of like mini airlock that then entered into the Cronus that way. So when the Sotillo kind of pulls away, there's going to be some structural damage to the Cronus that's just going to be how it is, kind of.
Oh, so they made so they have a little umbilical. I want to go down to their umbilical and cut my way into their umbilical to board their ship.
Okay. So first, make me a mobility roll, and because this is kind of a complex maneuver, you don't really have like a grappling gun or anything to kind of like secure you. At least I don't believe that you did. Nope, you don't. Give yourself a -2 on this roll. No successes. Do you want to push that roll?
I cannot
You
push
cannot
that roll.
push the roll because you are asynthetic. Damn. Okay. So instead, what I'm going to have you do is make me a survival roll. Oh no! Okay, I gotta think about how to play this out.
Can't believe Cham's gonna go fly in space now.
Oof.
If he like succeeded on cutting that, how depressurized would the Cronus be right now?
All Cham and Miller wanted to do was survive.
If he had cut into it, the Deck D, which and Deck C would both have depressurized for sure. They would have all started. Everything would have started flying towards that airlock.
Oh no, I got like no story points, man.
Yeah. So Cham, here's I'm gonna give you. I mean, 3 strikes and you're out. Is how I'm gonna try and kind of position this one. Go ahead and make me a strength roll. Just a straight strength.
Hell yeah.
Holy shit. Okay. So Cham, you start making your way sort of down the Cronus. You're looking for places where you can kind of handhold a little and sort of get position, kind of looking below where the Sotillo is kind of connected from where you're kind of above at kind of where the engines kind of pivot and turn a little bit. And as you go to make as you push off, because you're going to have to kind of float your way down towards the Sotillo, you mess up a little bit. maybe the trajectory is a little bit off, or there's some like reflection that kind of catches in your eye just at that moment at the wrong time, and you kind of catch off and you kind of fly kind of awkwardly down towards the Sotillo, but not anywhere near where you meant to be. And as you kind of go to grab hold of the Cronus and any of the engine parts that are kind of flying past you, as you realize you're not going to make it, you don't end up grabbing onto any of them. And as you begin to slowly kind of go through a space, you're kind of suspended for about 10 or so seconds, just kind of floating down, nowhere near to where you wanted to be, towards the Sotillo. And as you kind of get there, you have one chance to grab at something on the external end, on the like far side of the Sotillo, sort of on the opposite of where it's connected through, from the umbilical, and you just barely manage to use your synthetic strength to grab onto the hull of the ship, making like a kind of small dent in it as you grab on barely, where there was no handhold, and you're hanging on by a thread by one hand off of the side of the Sotillo. What do you want to do next?
I guess I'll pull myself back up and activate my magnetic boots, and I guess get to work. Hope no one saw that.
Yeah, so you kind of get back up onto the Sotillo, and I'm gonna say that as you kind of do that, you end up damaging kind of the hand that ended up grabbing onto the hull of the ship, because the ship's made out of really stick stuff, and in order to make a dent onto that, it kind of made some fractures in kind of the fingers and in kind of the bones of your hand. I want you to take 2 damage.
Can I use my talent?
Oh, I forgot to replace that on you. Hold on. And let me just take a look at it real quick. 1 second. I see. I'm gonna say no for this one. It's already happened too quickly, and there is no other way for you to stop yourself from falling off the side of the Sotillo without doing this. So no, it's not applicable. But let me replace that for you, so you do have access to it in your character sheet. Items. Resilient. Okay, so you activate your magnetic boots. You're now standing on the far kind of side of the Sotillo, and if it would help, I can show you this image. I can show this to everybody just so that you get a reminder of what the Sotillo kind of looks like. And so on its edge, kind of like on one of its sides, is kind of where the airlock would be connected with this really kind of short umbilical. And you are kind of on like the far tail end, at like the far kind of upper right side of the image is kind of where you manage to kind of grab on and hang on before flying out into space. And you've now kind of climbed up and you're on the very back of this vessel. What do you want to do next?
Yeah, I slowly make my way over to the airlock. I mean the umbilical, and like I say, start trying to cut my way in.
Okay. Go ahead and make me another mobility roll. This time, because you have your magnetic kind of shoes on, and you're not making a jump. I'm not going to give you any sort of negatives, but yeah, go ahead and make another mobility roll. Ooh, no successes. Okay. So as you start to climb your way kind of over to the Sotillo, the Cronus and the Sotillo are connected, but they are moving kind of quickly after sort of the explosion from the Montero and stuff like that. It was at, I think it was like 0.04 like knots or whatever, you know, kind of movement speed. It's kind of picked up some pace at this point. It's kind of whirling a little bit fast, and luckily the magnetic boots are kind of keeping you in place and not kind of letting you move too far, but it's really hard, even with your synthetic strength, to really kind of move your way up towards the umbilical. So it's going to take you, I would say, just much longer than it normally would for you to kind of start to make your way over there. And as you're doing that, we're going to turn quickly to Wilson, who is on deck B. All right. So for this scene, there's gonna be some private moments that I need with Wilson. So if you want to join me down in Blades real quick.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Wilson, you're sitting down kind of on this chair, kind of opposite of Ava in this sort of chamber. And as you're sitting there, you're not feeling too well. You've got a really bad headache kind of going. You're kind of rubbing your eyes a bit. And you know something's off. You know that something is not going well, that is not sitting right with you. And as you do that, as you're kind of sitting there, Ava is slumped over, still kind of damaged a little bit. The door opens. Take away vision so they don't see this.
Boom. Good choice using medbay, by the way. If they're astute and if they know how to correlate this song, they know something bad's about to happen.
Let me activate this just real quick, just to make sure that I'm taking away vision.
Yeah, that's fine.
I think that takes away their vision so they can't see what's about to happen. I hope so.
Yeah.
It really
Well,
helps.
either way, it'll be fine. Even if they see what's happening, contextually, they'll have no idea.
Cheese the Montero cat walks in.
Wilson turning, hearing the door as he's still coughing up blood. Now he's got a massive migraine, and he's, well, is that you, Flynn? And then he sees Cheese walk in. Wilson says, What are you doing here? It can't make any sense. The Montero blew up.
Cheese saunters over to kind of the bed. He hops up, doesn't respond, doesn't make a meow, doesn't seem to do anything as far as that goes. And as it's kind of sitting there on all fours next to Ava, its tail kind of seems to start elongating out, and it sort of becomes this sort of almost tentacle-like cable that goes into the back of Ava's neck, and you hear a kind of clicking noise as Cheese's eyes begin to glow a dim sort of green. And as this happens, you see that Ava's eyes also start to glow this sort of dim green. And then it turns to you and says, "This unit is not equipped with vocal capability. Wayland-Yutani model AN-02/D. Agent John J. Wilson. I have been connected to the Montero's mother system up until its demise. I am now connected with the Cronus' mother. What is your status?"
Before Wilson can even utter a word, he is both shocked, confused, and a loss of words. As he kind of coughs a little bit still, blood still pouring into his hand, his headache getting heavier. He looks at this strange anomaly of what cheese is, and then how it's somewhat a proxy of the Montero. He then says quickly after, piling his thoughts despite the confusion, status is not well, I'd say. Unfit.
Understood. You have not taken the 26 Draconis vaccine, correct?
That don't seem to be the case.
One moment. It's you can see that its eyes are kind of flickering a little bit on sort of the cat, and it starts to display a sort of holographic almost image. And you see, give me just a moment. Players, show Laz. Nope, there we go, show Laz. Can you see that okay?
Yes.
You see this displayed out in front of you in sort of a holographic kind of way. All this data, all this information concerning sort of the this chemical that, as you're kind of looking at it, seems to be the 26 Draconis strain.
As Wilson kind of scans at the document, while he's not a scientist, he can kind of read the layman jargon that's within the document itself. More importantly, his eyes glow even wider as he looks at the vase next to him. It truly even proves more, without a shadow of a doubt, that this mission, this ship, everything that is happening is for a very important reason, because this could change everything. After Wilson is done reading, he then looks towards Cheese and Ava and says, "Thank you. I need to make something very clear before we continue with procedures, whether it's company protocol or not."
Ava just continues to look at you.
Right. In this vase is the same chemical the company is looking for. The ship is Bogard. It's not worth saving. Most of its crew is either dead or infected, as am I. I'm likely going to be KIA by the time this conversation ends. And per directives by protocol via Wayland dictate that all Xeno byproduct be taken. And then as he's saying this, and he's saying this last line, something in his head stirs, and he's like, and just as he's about to say the last thing, I want all credit and all probability in the name of John J. And then in that moment, a little tiny hand shakes out from his mouth, and Wilson grabs at his throat, trying to, as if he's choking, and he's like, and this little hand rips through, and just absolutely similar to the scene that happened to Cooper, Wilson's whole top portion just crumbles as if someone was just crushing a can, but in reverse, like a reverse bear trap, just ripping open the entire section of his head. And as Wilson's eyes go in the back of his head, his hands start to go limp. In that room, all there is a vase, Cheese and Ava looking at him as this whole horror show commences. And Wilson just lies there dead, gone, with this tiny white pupate climbing out of his head, covered and soaked in blood, crawling down from his Wilson's dead corpse as it hits the ground, trying to get its bearings.
Yeah, and as it hits the floor, it takes a moment to stretch and kind of gets its bearings before it just screams and runs off out of the hallway. That'll be Wilson's last moments.
That did feel like an alien moment. Felt like the scummy alien corporate guy got what he deserved finally. No, thank you, Luke. That was good. Thank you.
Right, so before we get back, did you have a preference on which character you wanted to take over?
I have a feeling that Flynn would probably be the best option.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, Flynn. And then I am curious what's gonna go on with the backstory with Cheese and Ava. I can only imagine. But yeah, Flynn would be good.
Okay, yeah, so we'll transition back. I'll give you ownership of Flynn. He has just, he's conveniently just ran away from the situation on Deck C, and I was having him move up actually to Deck B.
Gotcha.
So I will place him somewhere kind of once we get back to kind of Flynn's scene. Okay?
Yeah, perfect.
Awesome. Add him back. All right, and we are back.
Welcome back.
Yeah, sorry that took a few minutes. Secret scene that you guys will be able to see in the VOD if you watch it. So, and you'll find out, of course, throughout the sort of the game. So at this point, we're gonna take another quick break. Say maybe 5-10 minutes. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fun.
So it's about 3:47 my time. So why don't we get back at 4 p.m.? Does that sound good?
Is there enough time for a Dota match?
Yeah.
Maybe I don't play Dota.
Yeah, let's queue up together.
Oh, jeez.
But awesome. So we will be back in a couple of minutes. And Laz, you should see stuff on your sheet in just a moment. Okay, so coming back to our scene, you guys have just killed this alien creature that lies dead, kind of next to John's, who's kind of holding his shoulder. He's bleeding a bit. He's been damaged by this thing. Valerie, you were just saying something about how we should get off the ship, right?
Yeah.
Right. As we come kind of back to that scene, John's gonna walk past the sort of alien creature. And he says, "Look, if we're leaving, let's go now. I'll get patched up on the ship."
Yeah, let's go now. I'll hand out the vaccines on the ship. Everyone gets inoculated, and we'll all be okay.
All right, let's get out of here then. Everyone, get back to the ship.
Okay. John starts to walk with you. You notice that you don't really see where Helen or Mickey went.
Oh, we're not on like comms with them for them to hear the go back to the ship.
No, you guys don't really have personal comm systems on at the moment. The only one with comms between the kind of all of you right now is John's, Kayla Rye, and Valerie Reed. They've got comms. You do know that they ran kind of up the hallway, kind of north of where you went, and then they turned to the west. Albert Johns, he's kind of just walked past you, Pin, but then he kind of turns around. Where did you guys dock the Sotillo? Or your ship?
Just follow us. We'll get there.
Oh, all right.
I assume the others have already headed there.
He starts to kind of get like, you know, he's really reacting from sort of the pain that he's kind of in. You can tell that his shoulder's real messed up where the tail of this thing like slashed kind of right at him. I'm alright. I'm alright.
Alright, we should move fast so we can get you patched up.
Rye, Valerie, what are you doing at this time?
Following them.
Okay, so it sounds like everyone's going to follow Captain Balaji. Balaji, which way are you taking them back to get to the Sotillo?
I don't remember how to pull the map up. I'm just going to say whatever's like the straightest route to get there.
Okay, so if you look at it kind of like your fog of war on your current map, you guys took kind of the elevator, the kind of cargo elevator up from deck D to kind of get over here. From if you did have the map pulled up, you would see that you can probably take the junction on the catwalk. There's a set of stairs that kind of leads down that way. You can also see. Yeah, so either the stairs or the elevators would be the best way to go about it. The junction that you guys are in, Kayla and Valerie, that will lead you guys upwards, but not downward.
Alright, we'll just get back on the elevators the same way we came up.
Okay, so going the same way that you guys
Or down.
kind of came in. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys want to head north, and you want to take a left turn. drag John's way. Is everyone following pretty close behind? How are we kind of doing that?
Yeah. Valerie's coming. So we're going with the elevator?
Yep, you guys are going
Yeah.
up. Ken, are you lagging behind at all? Or are you following with the group?
I would try to stay as close as I can.
Stay as close to the captain as you can. Okay. And as you're kind of walking past, and let me drag everyone over here. That seems doing. You see kind of across the room where you kind of pulled up the map initially, Captain Balaji, that Mickey and Helen are both in there. Mickey's kind of sitting on one of the chairs. Helen's kind of like kneeling kind of before him and kind of like consoling him. And they both kind of look up to when you're there, and Helen says, "Cam, what's going on?"
Yeah, come on with us. We're all going back to the ship. We're getting off of here.
Yeah, what the hell is that thing? Come on, Mick.
I don't know, but I don't want to stick around to see if there's any more.
Shit, man. Alright. Everyone gets in the elevator then?
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody gets in. And as you guys get in, you guys notice that Johns is still really not doing well. He's still really gripping his shoulders. He's panting really, really hard. And as kind of the elevator door closes, he goes up to the wall over here and he slams his fist against it as hard as he can.
No, Johns, keep it cool. We're gonna be out of here soon. We're gonna get you patched up. We got everyone else inoculated, and we're gonna get out.
I'm gonna offer an ocular stimulant and an auto injector to him.
Okay, so you kind of walk up to him. You go to give him this injector, and he turns around, Rye, and he slaps it out of your hands.
Oh shit!
I'm gonna take my gun out.
And then he starts to attack you, Rye. Make me a close combat roll. Okay, one success. Let me roll for John's. Ooh, okay. So John's had to push his roll. He ended up with 2 successes. He did panic, but he rolled a 4, so he's keeping it together barely. Rye, you had 1 success versus his 2 successes. You didn't roll any panic or anything or any stress. Do you want to push your roll at all?
What if I don't push my roll? More successes is bad, right?
Yeah, if
Then
you
he
don't
wins.
roll a success, he kind of wins the opposed roll, and then we'll play it out from there. Okay. So you scream as Johns takes a swing at you, Kayla, right? And this takes you totally aback. Johns has seemed like the most reasonable out of the whole Cronus's crew to you.
Yes.
He got along. He was doing the work on the scrubbers. This is totally out of nowhere for him. And as he connects, kind of with your face, you let out a scream that raises the stress level of everybody around you. Johns is now he's punched you. You've kind of are taken 1 hit of damage there. So go ahead and do that. And you guys can now begin combat, and or we have other reactions. Valerie, Captain Balaji, Pin.
I just want to make sure I
Yeah.
didn't miss you. You said I
Don't
take a
forget to
damage,
make the
right?
panic rolls.
Yes.
Well, I said that once he started. Oh yeah, panic roll. How do we do that?
They nerves
Um,
twitched.
Oh God,
believe
there's gonna be so
it's-
much.
Go to your
Is that what says panicked?
character sheet. And I think you can also go to your
Alright.
character sheet and then click on stress with like a little heart thing, and you can roll it that way, I believe too. Okay, we've got some twitches, we've got some trembling. This scream really sets you off balance. You're just as surprised as Kayla Rye is by this unorthodox sudden attack by Albert Johns. And then, do we get pin?
What am I rolling?
So you need to make a panic roll. So if you
Okay.
go into your character sheet and then click on the word stress, I believe that should roll.
Do I roll it too?
You can also go over
roll
conditions
it.
at the top and just do
Gotcha.
panic there too.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, at the top there. Conditions.
Got a 1.
Panicked. It's okay. More panic. PC's panic level has increased by 1. You drop an item whether by stress or confusion. So let's see. You've got a number of different items on you. You've got the incinerator on you, but that's kind of slung over your shoulder. That would be kind of hard to drop. So I'm going to say that you lose or drop your mechanical cutting torch. It falls off of your belt as you kind of are taken aback and maybe even take a step back into the elevator door as this happens. Okay. Other reactions after the initial reaction in which you have all panicked seeing John start doing this.
Okay, because once he started attacking, I said I was going to take my gun out. Did I do that or no?
You now do have done that, yes.
I'm gonna
Okay.
fucking grab him.
I'm going to shoot him.
Okay, so Valerie's gonna go at him. You're in a pretty closed, in tight space here, so I would say that you would be able to kind of get up to him for sure. Okay, you got 1 success. You're gonna deal 1 damage to him.
Well, no, I'm trying to grab him.
Oh, you're trying to grapple him. Understood.
Yeah.
Let's see, let me double check how this works. I always forget.
I
how
think
grappling
there's
works.
one to do for grappling separate, isn't there?
If you grapple your opponent as a stunt in close combat, both you and your opponent fall to the ground. The opponent drops any weapon they were holding. The only action they perform is break free, and the only thing you can do is a normal unarmed attack against them, but as a fast action, it can't be blocked. But okay, I'm gonna say that you managed to grapple him. He's like in the middle of punching Kayla Rye as you kind of run up, and you can kind of like grab and push his shoulder a little bit, and you kind of grab him, and you both kind of fall prone to the ground. You would be kind of right here, and so now
There,
you are
okay,
both,
that's it.
yeah, and now you are both prone.
Keep cool, dude, okay? We're about to leave. We're gonna be okay. Everything's going to be fucking fine.
Okay, so now we'll take the next turn, basically. Helen, Mickey, they're both just taken aback. They just move as far into the elevator and away from John's as they can possibly get. They kind of feel safe with the captain, gotten his pistol raised, kind of aiming at him. I guess we should roll for combat here just to see how we're gonna like take everyone's turns, right? So let me start an encounter. Then everyone toggle your combat states.
Well, all right. Never mind.
Pin in there. Oh, sorry. And then we'll leave Mickey and Horton, or Helen and Mickey out of this for now. Okay, so we're gonna do a move order of Albert's gonna go first. He's gonna try and break free from Valerie. Then we'll go Pin, Valerie, Balaji, and Rye. So John's, he's gonna make his close
Okay,
combat
so we're
roll.
past the point of being able to like talk him down or anything. Just in combat with him now.
Yeah, he's currently in combat. He's still resisting against Valerie. He's kind of making really loud noises and kind of like, really just kind of going rabid at this point. So you can still use your turn to use your words and try and talk him down at this point. But I'm just using the combat as a way to figure out who is going in what order as we kind of move forward in time by like increments of like 5 seconds, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Okay, so John's, he's gonna try and break free. So like I said, let me get his close combat. No successes on his close combat, so he's not able to do anything. It's now Pin's turn. Pin, what do you want to do in the next 5 seconds? You can take a fast and a slow action as well as if you. Pin, you there?
Oh, sorry.
All good.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try to whack him with the good old mechanical wrench.
Okay, so you're
First
going to
time
use
combat.
your fast action to sort of let the incinerator hang from its sling around your shoulder. You're going to take the maintenance jack off of your belt, and you're going to attack him with it.
That's
3 successes. Holy moly. Okay. Are there any stunts that you would like to use?
Let me check the stunts thing. Sorry, I've lost the stunts thing. 1 second.
It's okay. So you can either give yourself +1 damage, you can trade initiative with the target, you can knock them over or pull an item from their hands. If the target is, you can knock the target prone, which, I mean, they're already prone, or you can grapple them, but, I mean, they're already grappled.
I guess I'll go for an item. I think +1 damage.
Okay. So let me roll a quick... Okay. You managed to take from his belt his service pistol, as you also whack him over the head. And how much does maintenance jack do? That's 1 damage.
Shit, I didn't mean to roll that.
Oh, okay. Get rid of that. Take your stress down by 1. Remove panic. You would have to like move up to here to kind of get at kind of where he's at. Okay, so here's what happens. You deal 1 damage to Johns, and Johns takes he takes that damage. He can't block or do anything against it, so he just takes that damage straight up. He's still writhing on the floor, and when he hits you, he lets out an even bigger like ah, and just starts kind of trying his best to flail as he's kind of on the ground as Valerie's kind of got him grappled. And speaking of Valerie, it is now your turn. So as you have him grappled, you are able to make unarmed attack against him, and he's not able to block. But that's about all you can do unless you want to release him or you want to try to talk him down. What do you want to try doing?
Wait, who? Me? Or someone? Sorry.
Valerie, sorry.
Okay. So, yeah, I'm gonna like put my hands on his shoulders, like look right in his eyes, like, come on now, we're almost out, we're almost out. That thing barely even fucking scratched you. Alright? They've got plenty of medical supplies on board. We're gonna get everyone safe and sound home.
And Valerie,
been
as you're
70
looking at
fucking years.
John's, as you kind of look into his eyes, you realize that they've rolled into the back of his head.
Do I
He's-
recognize this? Is this what happened to the guy in Cryo?
No, this seems to be a little bit different than what happened in Cryo, where that guy was having some sort of seizure, it seemed at first, and was complaining of headaches or something like that. For John's, this looks kind of different. It looks like his skin is almost started to like molt or something, from like where you can see like just under his like jacket and his shirt, kind of just before it kind of reaches his neck.
Oh no. It's like his skin is peeling away.
Yeah.
Have I
exactly.
seen this before?
No, this is totally new to you.
I'm gonna like slowly back up and draw my weapon.
Okay, so you're gonna let him, you're gonna let go of him and then stand up?
Yeah. Draw
Okay.
my weapon.
Okay, so that would be your 2 actions, right there. So you wouldn't be able to draw your weapon yet, but you would be able to let go of him and stand up and back up. That
Yeah,
would be good.
I'll do that.
Okay. From there, we now have Captain Balaji's turn. You already have your weapon drawn. You've already got this aimed at Albert Johns, who is now lying on the floor. And after Valerie has, I'm gonna say, has kind of pushed him away as she sort of got up in sort of this like simultaneous kind of movement, Johns is now kind of writhing at the floor at the foot of where Kayla Rye and Pan are both kind of standing over him as he starts to kind of flail. What do you do?
Oh, okay, so he used the shove, so he's Albert's on the ground then, right?
Albert is still on the ground, correct?
I'm gonna aim and shoot him.
Okay. Go ahead and make a range combat roll, and because he's on the ground and you're in very close proximity in addition to your aim, give yourself a +3.
So it's +3, including the +1 for the aim.
Nope, I'm including the aim in that.
Okay, so just +3 total. Cool.
Yep, correct.
1 second. Ooh.
Not good. Okay. So, unfortunately for... I know it says Vanessa Miller, so you're getting the curse of Vanessa Miller coming back at
Yeah, I
you
am. What the...
with the rolls, man. That's fucked.
It
So,
didn't say it for the last one. It said it was the right name.
yeah, I don't know what's going on with Foundry. If it's like... Are you, like, clicking into Vanessa Miller's sheet? Do you still have access to that, maybe?
No, I'm doing it all off the things
All off of
at the
his.
top.
Maybe
Off
some
the top
ownership.
bar.
I'll figure it out later. So, anyways, here's what happens. So, Captain Balaji, you take aim, and you're just about to take a fire at this thing when your nerves get the better of you. You've just been attacked by some alien creature that you don't understand, and now this guy is just attacked the crew out of nowhere when he seemed to be totally fine. And you realize that you need to get to the Sotillo, but you're not having it. You don't have anywhere that you can really flee to. So what I'm gonna say is happening is that because you would have to wait a couple seconds for the elevator door to like open up and stuff, you could maybe start like pressing the button as quickly as possible. But instead, you're gonna drop your pistol onto the ground, and you're gonna run and start hitting the button to head down to your ship. Okay, and that's your turn.
I feel like that's going based off of Vanessa's stress. But okay. I only have 2 stress on this character, so I feel like I wouldn't have panic roll maybe, but who knows?
Oh, is that why you rolled that many?
Yeah, because if he only has 2 stress, that's a lot more stress.
Okay, hold on. Let me double.
Yeah, that's why I was like, this feels a
I
little
didn't realize it was
unfair.
that messed
Is
up.
that-
That's a little
yeah,
bit different.
I don't have a lot of stress
like-
on this character at all. 2 people like scream around me, and I got stressed because of that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Configure ownership. Okay, that's set correctly.
It was a chain reaction from the people screaming. It like super stresses everyone out around them,
Yeah, the panic train.
and then the creature screaming up everyone's stress. Also, I think.
That did happen.
Yeah.
Yep.
Didn't even-
Rye screaming would also have increased your stress.
Yeah, mine is everybody's stress and took me
I
down
think
one.
everyone should
Yep,
have gained like
down.
5 stress through that.
Okay. You did still have access to Vanessa Miller's sheet, so that might have been what's doing that. So go ahead and redo your roll.
Thank you for the second chance. 1 second. Watch
Yeah,
it be
we were
way
just gonna
worse.
roll with it, but like, yeah, you were rolling like 7 stress almost or something. It's like, okay, that's a little bit. Okay, 2 successes. Let me get you back over here. Turned around correctly. Okay, so you do get a stunt out of that. What do you want to do with that?
More damage, baby.
More damage, okay. So John's is now considered broken. Okay, and his critical injury is a severed leg. This is fatal. It's permanent. He can't run and he can only crawl. So, Balaji, this is kind of what happens. You take aim at Albert Johns, you fire at him, and it sort of slices off one of his legs, kind of blows it off from sort of the bottom. And he is now sitting there in even more pain, still writhing out. But he has 1 shift before he has to get healed, before that will be a fatal injury to him. And a shift, again, is anywhere between like 4 hours and like 10 hours.
Anybody have medical aid?
What
Combat is not
Well,
over. So now it is John's turn to go again. So since he is broken, he needs to make a roll. So 1 moment. Okay, he does not succeed on his roll. You notice everybody looking at John's right now. You notice that he seems to be almost growing in a weird way. His limbs seem to be getting a little bit longer. His face seems to be distorting a little bit. And as he's kind of lying on the ground, all of this blood is kind of pouring out of his leg. He's still just writhing around and making these god-awful noises. And that is going to be his turn. Is now Pin's action. What do you want to do with your next turn?
I want to coup de grace this son of a bitch.
Okay.
I
ahead,
guess
make
it's
me-
close combat.
Yes, correct.
Oh, wrong button. Skills, close combat. Oh no.
Okay, you
I
managed to
put
keep it together. You do have 2 successes. Anything with your stunt, just more damage.
More damage.
More damage, okay. That means he makes another crit. Sorry, that's really stupid. Reroll that. It's just- come on. Okay, you can't roll the same thing 3 times in a row.
Who, me?
No, the game was rolling for John's crit. It's like, oh, his other leg is severed now. Like, no, I don't want that to happen. So okay, here's what happens. You take this wrench, you kind of position yourself over, you kind of straddle his legs as you kind of step over him, and when you take your swing, you bash him right in the center of the face, and you crush his skull, killing him instantly.
Can I do it like it was a golf swing? Like I was driving a ball?
Yeah, just like you. I'm thinking of the George Bush one-liner, like, watch this drive.
And then as I like come up on the swing, I just want to look Valerie straight in the eye and smile.
Yeah. And you just take this swing, you just decimate Albert Johns' face as it crushes in. He stops moving as this happened, makes like a little bit of a twitch and stuff like that, but then you can tell that like all of his limbs start to go limp as he fades away.
Are we out of combat?
Yes.
Alright, I don't know what the fuck that was, but we need that vaccine now. Before anyone gets on my ship, we all need to take that vaccine right now.
We need to dispose of the corpse.
So Valerie, something that takes you aback in this moment is
Yeah.
that you are confident that Albert Johns, similar to yourself, you guys have taken the inoculation. So John shouldn't have been affected by the black motes and the stuff that happened to Cooper up in Cryo. That didn't seem to be what was happening to Johns. This really takes you aback.
I
Helen-
think I'm not going to mention it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, Helen is currently grabbing, like, she's got Mickey kind of like behind her, kind of shielding him, and is like, "What the fuck?" Is she's joining in with captain with the captain.
We need that vaccine now. You said you had it. We need to hand it out before
Yeah.
anyone's getting on my ship.
Oh yeah, and I get out the briefcase and get out vials one by one and hand them to all of the new boarders.
Quick question. Was this man vaccinated?
He did have it, but he was in the fucking vents spraying it down. There might have just been too much for it to save him.
Or just stick with me here. Wayland Yutani infected you guys as a little science experiment to see what would happen. Captain, I think if we're gonna take this, you should let me take it first. That way, we can monitor for any side effects.
Who out of your original crew's taken this? Looking at Valerie.
All of us. We're all vaccinated. We're all safe from everything. Didn't he also get hit by the thing? He might have done something.
I'm going to look at Ray and ask if this is true, because they started together. Did you take the vaccine too?
I haven't taken the vaccine. No, I'm in a spacesuit. But yeah, I'm a little bit out of my league here.
Yeah, speaking of your spacesuit, Rye, go ahead and make me an air roll. Air supply roll. And really everybody who, if you're in any sort of spacesuit, but I believe that's just Rye at this point.
Yep. The only time I get lucky on rolls.
Jesus, wow, yeah. You're really tapping into that, like, breathe every 10 seconds rule or something. I don't know.
I'm dead
It's
inside.
some sort of company policy that is just keeping your air supply well stocked at the moment. Okay. So what do you guys want to do now? Do you want to actually hit the button and head down to the Sotillo, or you're kind of standing in this elevator with John's bleeding out slowly out into the kind of middle? Mickey is visibly sort of upset and hiding behind Helen Bean at this point.
The elevator's open or closed?
It's open. The door? Or did it close? No, yeah, it closed.
Yeah, the door is certainly closed. You guys are kind of in this like kind of cargo-ish kind of elevator. You were just about to kind of make your way down and kind of initiate the button when John's attacked you.
I'm just going to take my jacket and throw it over Johns' face and crushed up body as
Kinda
much as
cover
I
it up a little
can.
bit. Yeah.
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 Did you
Yeah,
add that
you walk
service
over and go ahead
pistol
and do
to my
that.
inventory?
I did. Yeah, you've dropped that. If you want to pick that up, you can.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna pick that.
Okay. Yeah, I'll put it back in your inventory. Give me a second.
Did I drop my weapon in that interaction?
Or I'm sorry, it was your mechanical cutting torch. That's what it was. I'm putting that back in your inventory.
Yeah, but I also disarmed John's.
Okay, that's right. Yep. I forgot to put that in there. Thank you for reminding me. And what were you saying, Ryan?
Shit.
Oh, I would pick up any dropped items. I'm not sure if I dropped the gun. That should have been in my hands. But if I got grabbed, it's probably on the ground, you know?
Let's see. Let's check your inventory. So you have the bolt gun, but the bolt gun does have a sling around it, kind of similar to the incinerator. So you kind of got that around your shoulder. So yeah, you're okay. You still got that on you. Okay. So Balachi is covering up John's body. Helen is turning to Mickey and is kind of consoling him, being like, "Hey, kid, it's okay. You're gonna be fine. We're getting out of here."
Valer's gonna take up position by the elevator door with her weapon drawn. Be ready.
Yeah, I'm gonna do, well, from like where the body is, just like assume an overwatch before the elevator goes down.
Okay, so you're kind of keeping an eye on the body. You still got your weapon drawn.
Well, drawn at the door, but I'm near the body still.
Okay, so you're watching the door of the elevator.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and you guys are gonna head down to Deck D?
Yep.
Okay. Before we get to that, then, let us turn back to Mr. Lucas and/or Cham. Cham, we won't need to really change scenes here because you're kind of on the Sotillo and we don't really have a map for that necessarily. At least on the outside of it. So you are currently we're attempting to make your way over to where the umbilical was on the Sotillo. You almost fell off, but managed to survive by grabbing on barely. You were making your way, but as the Chrono ship was moving real quick, it was hard to kind of keep kind of moving and stuff like that.
Yep, it's a bad day for our hero.
Just seeing your question. There. But yeah, so you're still making your way down there. It's taking you a lot longer than you anticipated. You're a little freaked out because you almost flew off into space. Anything you want to do in the meantime as you kind of slowly make your way down there?
Let me think here. How long until I like get there safely?
It would probably take you upwards of like 30 minutes to really make sure that you got everything good and you kind of walk through. Keeping your handholds and making handholds where maybe there aren't any. Yeah.
I guess I'll just focus on that because I can't really do anything else. Actually, I'll check my inventory a little bit. Maybe I can. Yeah, I did have some other stuff in my inventory. No, I'll just keep continuing that way. I might radio Ryan here in a second.
Okay. Go ahead and make me another mobility roll. Two successes, okay. Any stunts?
I never want to have to do this again.
Okay, +1 to another roll later on for the same thing. Okay. So like I said, you're making your way down there. It's going to take you 3 turns, about a half hour to kind of get, or not turns. Turns because it's rounds that are quicker. I was using that wrong. Anyways, so yeah, going to take you about a half hour to kind of make your way to the umbilical. And with that in mind, then we are now going to turn back to Laz, who is on deck B, and is now taking over the character of Liam Flynn. Let me make sure you guys have vision. Okay. So Liam, you were on deck C initially, and when you heard the noise of this creature, you saw your chance to get out from away from this group and away from whatever that fucking thing was going to be, and you made your way up to deck B. And your inclination at the time was that Lori Clayton had to have gotten out of the auto dock by now, right? you want to do?
Okay. This is okay. Lori, yeah. She knows anything. She should be able to have an escape. She's always she's always been crafty. Okay. And yeah, so Flynn, he kind of makes himself down the way. He continues moving towards the med bay. Despite, what he had previously going on, he's kind of deemed it too dangerous. And right now, he's looking for another option, another way out. And that being the case, yeah, he's going to head down towards the med bays. He traverses the halls. And he's paranoid as he's walking through the hallway. He's looking over his shoulder every moment. Every door he passes that might be open, he kind of looks into it to hopefully see no one. And just says to himself, nope, I'm going to get out of this. Yeah, I'm not going to end up like Cooper. And I'm not going to die to some fucking crazy thing that might be down there. Or may not, I don't know. But I'm not, I'm going to live. I'm a survivor. I can do this.
So you're making your way, it sounds like, cautiously.
Yes.
Okay. As you're walking down the hallway, you also remember that you had told Agent Wilson that at some point you were going to come back to him, but you never managed to get the repair kit for Ava that was down in storage before the group that was with John's kind of called you over and sort of took, you weren't able to kind of do it in a way where they were going to notice that you were grabbing something and would then have to explain kind of what you were doing. But you then make me an observation roll. Yeah, so as you're walking down the hallway, you're making your way, you're talking to yourself a little bit, giving yourself a little bit of a pep talk. You notice, as you kind of walk past... Oh, 1 second. You see Ava kind of walk past you in the corporate area.
Does he, see Ava, or does he see, a silhouette of a humanoid?
No, you see that that is definitely Ava that is kind of walking past you, but you only see her for just a second as you kind of walk past the door.
Sorry, give me one moment. Thing crashed for some reason. Not sure why that happened.
No.
Okay. Okay. So. Okay, then I would just say as Flynn is still looking around and he sees Ava pass through him. He turns and he's kind of confused for a moment because he's like, wait a second, wait, what? Is that you, Ava Unit?
You see that she walks kind of upwards into the room and seems to be placing something down on the ground. And then when she hears you, she turns around and says, Dr. Flynn, hello. Then starts to walk towards you.
Flynn, a little cautious still, but this is Ava. This is the ship's synthetic, If anything, she's here to protect him. Flynn says, yeah, Ava. Perfect timing. Wait, where's that guy? Where's Wilson at? What happened to him?
I believe he's still down in the room. In the bedroom area.
Oh, is he taking a nap or something?
He has died.
What? Flynn's kind of confused. What do you mean died? Come on, be more specific here.
He did not take his inoculation, it would seem.
What? Wait, hold on now. What do you mean he didn't take the inoculation? Are
The
you saying
creature
he?
crawled out of his head. She says this so nonchalantly, Liam, that it makes the hair on the back of your neck kind of prickle up a little bit, and you gain 1 stress.
Glad you read my mind. Flynn, thinking for a moment, he says, "Okay, hold on now. Hold on. There's already one down there on Deck C, and thankfully we killed one when Cooper, for some reason didn't take his. But why didn't he take an inoculation? I even asked him. He lied to me."
Ava just kind of stares at you as you are kind of processing this out loud.
Okay. Oh, okay. Hold on. Okay. We'll deal with that in a moment. Firstly, Ava, what are you doing in the VIP room? That's Laurie's chambers.
And Ava kind of twitches a little bit before she says, "Priority 1 is secure xenomorphic material for the company."
What? Wait, hold on. What are your directives again?
Directive 1, she begins. Secure xenomorphic material for secure transport to Wayland-Yutani Station on Earth. All other priorities rescinded.
What the fuck? Hold on. Okay, wait. There's wait. That's way too much, Ava. Your directive should be prioritization of the Cronus crew and all facilities of the ship. Why are you focusing now on the samples?
She kind of cocks her head a little bit to the left as you say that. Almost as if she's questioning you a little bit.
Like, Flynn's starting to sweat now because he's confused. He's not sure what his next move will be as he continues trying to process what Ava's doing. He then thinks, okay. Right. Ava.
Company policy must be followed.
Yeah, okay, I hear you. Okay? I hear you right? But here's the thing. How are you gonna even get back to Earth, Ava? The ship, is the Cronus even operational? Last I heard, these lunatics were killing each other, and it doesn't seem like any progress has been made.
The Cronus's status is that the engines are still offline, as well as the comm array. But the reactor looks green and ready to go.
Okay, so the engines have got to repair it, is what you're saying?
Correct. Priority
Okay, no.
1 to get Cronus en route back to Earth.
Fucking shit. Well, the problem, Ava, we have right now is that might not even need to be done. There's a separate ship.
She cocks her head from where she had it on the left to her right and says, "Another ship."
Yeah, I don't know the details, but there's some people on here. Pirates, it looks like. But listen. Okay. Here's what we're gonna do, okay? I don't trust anyone down there. Things are going awry. And you just told me that we have another little friend running around. We need to find another way out. I think the Cronus I don't think's gonna make it. And for that other ship, they're not even inoculated. God knows how long their ticking time bomb waiting to go off. Me and Cooper did the time study on it. It doesn't take long. God fucking. Okay, Ava, stay here. Maintain control of this room. I need to go check med.
Understood. He then turns around kind of nonchalantly as you say that, and she kind of goes back towards the left, your left kind of side of the room, towards this way.
after she's out of his sight, he starts to run down the hallway. And then instead of heading to the med bay, like he said, he books it towards where he last saw Wilson. He enters the room very cautiously, seeing the door open. And he sees like a trail of blood coming around the corner. And he's like, oh, fucking shit, man. He steps in slowly. He turns and sees Wilson slumped over, his head half ripped off, with only his jaw and lower mouth appeared. Flynn says, God damn it, man. Fucking shit. Why didn't you take the inoculation? And at this point, Flynn is confused, even more so. But then he says, all right. He looks around, sees the broken PDA. He's like, what the fuck? Why is that destroyed? He then cautiously gets near Wilson's body, kind of starts searching it to see if there's anything left over.
Yeah, reaching inside of his jacket pocket, you pull out 2 auto-injectors, and Flynn is quite familiar with these injectors and everything, and he can see that one of them is filled with this black liquid that he knows is the inoculation, and the other one seems empty.
Okay. Well, this explains he had a shot, but he didn't take it. And then what's this other one for? Okay, well, either way, he's a lost cause. There's not much that can be done with him. Right, let's pretend we never saw him. If anyone asks, he's gone.
You want to take his inoculation and the auto-injector that he had? Or do you want to leave that there?
We can leave it there.
Okay.
Because Flynn knows at this point it wouldn't serve any real use. Because he's already inoculated, so he doesn't have to worry about that.
Right.
As he closes the door, and he thinks for a moment, all right, well, that's one, I guess, player out of the game. And I'm gonna go ahead and give him more stress, especially after seeing what
happened to Wilson.
Yeah, seeing his whole fucking head ripped. Flynn carefully is like, okay, there's Lori, right. Lori would know what to do. She's always been smart about these things. Okay, be quick. And he keeps trotting down the hall as quick as he can. And as he's running, I'm gonna do this real quick. Okay, nice. He runs as fast as he can, but as he kind of goes past this trip door, he almost trips himself, catches his footing, and he's like, fuck! And he's like just trying to be as quick as he can to get to medbay without busting his own head. He arrives at the medbay door, looks at it, and then sees something a bit odd on the side of the door. He sees that there seems to be burn marks, and he looks and says, what the fuck? Wait a second. Did someone try to weld this close? And Flynn is so confused even more. In the past, hour or so he's been awake, it seems like there's just one bad thing after the next, another bad thing after the next. He then says, fuck, man. Fuck, Lori's in there, man. I can't get to her. Okay, there's something I can do. And then I gotta get quick. And then Flynn starts running down to the next where the science facility was.
Mm-hmm.
And he sees all the bodies. He kind of takes a moment to hold his hand to his mouth, and he's trying not to vomit at the sight of this absolute decay and massacre. He then tries to move through, and then he keeps going further. He's like, okay, there's one last thing, and then maybe there might be a saving grace. And as Flynn gets closer, he turns to a small section of the science module that hasn't been destroyed. turns to the door, takes his key card, and presses it in to see if it'll work. Okay.
Opens right up.
Okay, oh shit. Okay, it's not completely detached. The fucking incubators have been destroyed, but that's okay. We don't care about that. The terminal access. And he quickly shuffles over. Okay. And so he sits down quickly, types into the console terminal to see if he can activate it. Flynn then puts in his username and password, which is just Flynn. Flynn is cool or something. Who cares? And as Flynn is kind of hitting the keys, trying to do this as quick as he can, the panic and the paranoia is starting to mount in his head. And the first thing he types in is he says, okay, records, Flynn, Flynn Liam, record logs, the Draconis virus. And yeah, does anything happen when he types that in? Or is it kind of just...
So as you start to type in the words, you have pretty high level of clearance for a doctor in terms of what this terminal is able to kind of pull up for you. But as you kind of start typing in the stuff for the Draconis strain, it comes up as classified, unless you don't have access. And this is weird.
Flynn's
You totally should.
Yeah, Flynn kind of confused at his lack of clearance. He's like, okay, I know a bypass. I'm going to try something. And then he uses a bypass command, which I'll go ahead and roll Comtech. Okay, wow. Holy shit.
Very nice. Yeah. So you managed to kind of punch these things in. You know the system very well. You've worked with it extensively, helped install it, in fact. So as you're kind of working through it, yeah, you do manage to find... This pops up. You've seen some of this information before, but not laid out like this.
Yeah, he's seeing how it transfers. He's like, okay, now this checks out. Okay, wait, hold on. Wait a second. As he's reading the effects, this is new information. This is a document he hasn't actually seen in full.
Mm-hmm.
And as he's reading it, and each effect from installation to ingestion, he realizes something. He says, "Oh fuck, man! Oh fuck, man! Fuck!" And then as he's saying that, you can cut the scene to the other players, Lurk, and I'm gonna give him a stress because this is bad news. And he just realized why Cooper didn't take that shot. Okay.
Excellent stuff. All right. We now turn back to the crew, who are currently in the elevator and is heading down to Deck D. Need to stop when you pan to us. Your doggo needs attention, kind of up and down. Maybe you want to stay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. But you're here right now, right? So.
Yeah, I'm here right now. I got your volume pretty turned up, but yeah, I might also have stuff I might need to do.
Okay, understandable. Okay, so we come upon Deck D. Let me get some tokens out here for everyone who is heading down. John's is there, but he's dead. Billow. Okay, I think that's everyone. dead corner here. And as you guys are kind of going down, takes about 5-ish or so minutes for you guys to get all the way down through the elevator at this point. So you guys are able to take away your panic states. You're still on edge, of course, with this dead body of John's misaligned and sort of stretched out kind of body, kind of dead on the floor with his face crushed in, but you stopped panicking.
Cool.
As you guys arrive down, the elevator kind of comes to like a crunch kind of at the bottom. Door kind of opens up. What do you guys want to do?
I'm going to head towards the airlocks.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow behind them.
Okay.
Which one is
gets
it?
out?
Is it like this one?
Yeah, that would be the one that you guys would be coming up upon.
All right.
Okay.
I'm going to get onto the ship.
Okay. Give me one moment. Okay, give me 1 second.
I'm going to also use my signature item because I have the dog tags of a fallen comrade. And like clutch it to my head, look down on it, and whisper to myself, "Don't worry, we're getting out. We're getting out."
Great, yes. Go ahead and lower your stress by 1. Okay, and as you guys are kind of coming up to the door, anything that you guys are saying or doing at this point? Helen is still kind of consoling Mickey, who is kind of saying, seems happy that we are leaving. He doesn't want to be here anymore. Token still.
I'm sorry, say it again.
You guys are coming up upon this door to the airlock, to where the Sotillo is. Helen is kind of consoling Mickey, and he's kind of saying how like he doesn't want to be here anymore. He's happy to be leaving. Anything that you guys are saying or doing?
Nope, just enforcing Balaji's will.
I'm just staying silent. I'm just like, Jesus Christ.
Okay, Captain Balaji, anything from you?
I'm just gonna ask if we think we should all take the vaccine before we get on the ship. If we even think it'll help.
I thought it would until one of the people said that they might just be fucking using this test dummies, and now I can't get it out of my head, and now I don't know. I've been in the space shoot for a good time, so I should be good, but in all honesty, I just want to get the fuck out of here.
We have a medical bay on our ship, right?
Yes, I believe you guys do.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get tested before I inject myself with any fucking Wayland Yutani tracking fucking chip.
As you say that, Helen kind of says, "Yeah, but we don't want to get infected, though. Is that the only cure?"
No,
If that's
of
the only
course
way
not.
that we, if that's the
Sure,
only
if you
way
take
for
enough
us to,
vitamin C.
yeah, but we don't know what exactly causes this thing, right? Captain, I'm
Anyone
thinking we
got a
should take this
doctor?
right now. And Helen starts to kind of pull out and has the inoculation in her hand.
All right, I agree. Anyone who's getting on the ship has to take it.
Was that Balaji?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, I'll go ahead and take it.
Okay. Helen does the same. Starts to take the. They both kind of pop it into the side of her thigh. Kind of has like a little cutaway thing that she can get through her flight kind of jacket to access at that.
Inner thigh or outer thigh?
Outer. He then turns and goes to give Mickey his shot. He's really nervous about it and is being real futzy about it. Like, no, the needle's freaking him out. He's already freaked out. His stress levels are real high. So it's gonna take her a minute to kind of calm him down to where he can give him the injection.
All right, and I'm going to go ahead and take the injection. And then, did everyone here take the injection then?
Seems like everyone
Mickey
from your crew so
pre-injected.
far, except for Mickey, who it's going to take a couple more minutes for Helen to kind of coax them into it. Not sure about Valerie. Kayla Rye is still in a big bulky space suit, so definitely that Kayla hasn't taken it. Valerie, you're not sure. Valerie has already taken the inoculation previously, as far as you're aware.
I took it before. I took it 70 fucking years ago when they put me in the cryo tube just to wait out, maybe get rescued.
And you're sure there's no chance I just stopped talking?
And
No
there's
chance
no
at
chance
all.
that you've breathed the air here?
Oh, I breathed the
And
air here. I
I'm
was
talking to the one in
inoculated.
the spacesuit.
This is gonna sound up good so far.
Yeah, make me
Is your
another
ship
air
air
supply
mixing?
roll, Kayla Rye, as you say that. All right, lose one supply there, down to 3. Still an insane amount of luck rolls on that, though. That's crazy. But yeah, as you're kind of saying this, Valerie, Helen kind of turns away from Mickey for a second and says, "Well, how do we know you took it 70 years ago? Is it still effective? Maybe you need another dose."
Do I need to take a second dose before you let me on?
Yeah.
Alright, I take the second dose.
Okay.
Ryan needs to take one too.
Yeah, Rye still
Uh,
hasn't taken it yet.
Faye
Everybody else
her
has.
own that Valerie passed out before.
What are
How
you
about
gonna
you,
do?
kid? I'm gonna walk out here around the corner and be like, "How about you, kid? Have you taken it yet?"
Mickey's begun crying again a little bit. He's nervous. He's like holding his both of his arms together, and he's shaking his head, going, "I don't wanna." Helen's turning back to him and saying, "Mickey, kid, you gotta take it. We who knows who's been exposed here? You gotta take it. It's gonna be okay." But I don't want to take it, he's saying.
I'm gonna yell into the room and be like, "Valerie, where's that one lady who got burned? What was her name?"
Lori?
Yes, she should be on the medical bay, right? There's no way
Should
she
be.
could have gotten those.
Yeah, Lori, she's welded into the medical bay. She'd have to climb through a vent to get out, and I don't know if she has that in her. She would have also come out by now, probably.
You're right.
As you guys are figuring that out, let's turn back to Cham slash Lucas, who is on the outside of the Cronus, or of the Cronus, and is on top of the Sotillo. Cham, at this point, I would say that you have reached the umbilical. You're kind of standing kind of like above it, let's say. Below is kind of where the umbilical meets the Cronus. There's about maybe 20 meters kind of in between the ship and, I mean, the drop between like where you are and where the umbilical kind of is and kind of meets the ship. And that is kind of held together at sort of a 10-meter kind of umbilical cord. And it looks like on the other end that it has kind of slapped its way into the side of the Cronus.
Oh man, this is like a ragtag fucking docking. Awesome. I make sure my boots are set on high so I don't move or slip because I'm expecting the ship to gyrate a little once like the air pressure's like breach. But yeah, I just started cutting in with the cutting torch.
Hey, make a heavy machinery roll.
Has some previous
And
save.
Give yourself a -2 to the roll.
I'm gonna do this cutting torch. Oh, yeah, +2. So you need just a torch.
Two successes, okay. Is there an applicable stunt here?
I want to do it silently so no one notices what's going on.
Quietly, yeah, okay. All right. So yeah, you start to burn into this umbilical cord. You first had to, of course, make your way down to it, so you're kind of dangling a little bit from your feet, which are kind of keeping you secure to the Sotillo as you turn on your cutting torch, and you begin to work your way slowly down the umbilical as you start to open it up. As you start to cut away, after another about maybe 2 turns or so, maybe about 10-ish minutes, you'll have cut through it enough that you'll have start to cut into where there is currently a bit of compression going on between the Sotillo and the Cronus. And it's going to be more difficult to continue cutting into this thing. For everybody else who is currently still on deck D, go ahead and make me a stamina roll.
I think I was already panicked before, so I need to redo that panic roll.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I can delete this one. Okay. Okay. So Valerie, go ahead and re-roll that. Oh wait, you're panicked still. Wait. Probably gained stress from that. Okay, yeah, go ahead and make the roll.
All right, I have to. I just do the whole roll again.
Yeah, just roll stamina again.
All right. All right, cool.
Okay. All right. So here's kind of just double check. Okay. I need to make another roll. How many? I need to roll 66. Two. Success here. No successes there. One success here. No successes there. Okay. Order that they came up in is... Kayla actually doesn't count. Finn had one success. Okay, so they went out against it. Even though they're trembling. They would have nothing. She lost. Mickey... They both lost, so he survives. Wait, did I do that right? Finn, Balaji, Ellen, Mickey. Okay, sorry. Was working something out behind the scenes as far as stuff goes. Now, one of you, who has the highest observation out of all of you?
I have a base of 2.
I have 0.
Okay. For Helen. It's Helen.
I have 0 also.
One. Okay.
I've got
Really that observant?
3.
2. Okay, Pin, make me an observation roll and give yourself a +1.
How do you give a plus?
Right click it instead of left clicking it, and then give yourself a 1 in the base modifier. Okay.
1 success.
So, as you guys are kind of working through this, you start to hear some noises beyond the sort of door where you guys had cut in to the Cronus. You can hear it sort of beyond sort of where the umbilical would start to end, and it sounds like air escaping to you. At this point, Helen has reached down. She has given the kid the inoculation kind of in his right arm, into sort of the vein where the sort of elbow bend is. He's crying about it. He's not happy, so he's made a huge fuss about it, but he's now taken the inoculation, just like everybody except for Rye at this point, I believe. Who's doing what? What are we at now? For you guys, back on.
Valerie is going
on
to
deck
now
D.
go and get on the ship. Go through the umbilical, through the airlock, through the everything, into the way out.
Okay. Captain Balaji, what are you doing?
I'm headed to the ship also.
Okay. Pin, what are you up to then after your observation?
Bringing up the rear behind Captain Bellagio.
Okay. And then Rye, you're following behind. What are you up to?
I'll be like, yeah, I just got off and then I can take the injection.
So you're kind of walking away from the elevator, not heading towards the ship?
Yep.
Okay. Any reactions from Rye kind of doing this from you guys, or are you just all turning to kind of head towards the ship?
What was Rye doing? I'm sorry, I missed it.
Dude, so I can take the inoculation and I rounded the corner.
You took the inoculation, then rounded the corner?
No, I said I need to take my suit off to take the inoculation, and then I rounded the corner because there's a little small room there.
Yeah, so you walked over to the adjoining airlock that has been sabotaged, basically. So yeah, you would hear kind of Rice kind of sort of say this as you guys are kind of turning to go back to the Sotillo. Anything that you're kind of saying at that point or reacting?
Valen's gonna say, like, urgently, "Come on, everyone, let's get out of here. Everyone else is dead. Let's go."
I think he's gonna walk up, kind of get behind the captain, moving you out of the way. I can get at Helen, kind of keeping up with Mickey. Okay. Before we get to the next scene of the Sotillo umbilical, let's turn back real quick to Liam on deck B. Liam, you've just been on the terminal. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying it was funny. He keeps taking me to Wilson sometimes.
Oh,
Oh,
weird.
no.
I thought I took your.
No. No, you did. I think it locks me on to where Wilson is, but it's not. It's fine. It's not like it.
Oh, because of his token. That's what it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jay's found out to roll with Wilson's stress. That's all.
Go ahead. Sorry. What were you saying?
So yeah, so you've been at this terminal for a minute or so now. It's been, let's say, another 5, maybe almost 6 minutes.
Yeah, so during this time, while Flynn has sit here and studied the classified document, he realizes that the inoculation will also... the realization is dawning upon him. After realizing that the inoculation can be was used to counteract the infection of chemical AO. Because chemical AO, from what he's gleaming, can be ingested or inhaled. From what he remembers before cryo, he remembered that most of the crew was doing the insulation effect. He remembers that there was rumors planetside, when they were doing the research, that there was some even more... what's the word I want to use here? Dubious activities planetside that led to this potential situation. And though he worked with Cooper, and he's sitting here reading through these notes, he finds that this isn't the first time this chemical's been displaced. In fact, there are other planets. As he reads, there's Planet Test 1 Alpha, Planet Test 3 Gamma. And as he reads, all these planets have gone completely either black or a biohazard nightmare. He then reads up on the particular substance, the urn. But what's more damning is he checks his notes again. He reads the inoculation notes and the thesis proposed by both him, but predominantly by Dr. Cooper. And he doesn't have access to Dr. Cooper's full notes, but he does read the thesis that the inoculation has a 100% chance to stop things. But what's concerning is by cross-referencing the thesis with the information provided through the classified the dossier, things aren't adding up. While Flynn is no Dr. Cooper, and his field of study is a little bit different, the realization is still kicking in that there's a chemical reaction that is occurring within the DNA construct of people's bodies. And Flynn then says, okay, wait a second now. Wait a second. We tested this in a limited time. We produced enough, and we still had problems. We made it to stop the things from becoming a thing, but that doesn't explain why people are killing each other. Wait, hold on. And then as his memory's starting to come back to him, he's starting to realize, Wait. And he kind of shuffles in the room. He checks the lab for anything. And he realizes that everything in this room, like the incubation tubes they used to create the inoculation, have completely gone awry. He sees like burn marks, but small patches of mushroom spreading throughout. And he realizes again, okay, no, wait, okay. So, if Cooper didn't take the inoculation, then that means that the inoculation isn't actually a vaccine. It is something worse. Far worse. Wait. I took the inoculation. Fuck. And he quickly heads back to the terminal, looks at the information one more time, kind of does like some basic math in terms of time of symptoms. And while Liam isn't feeling anything right now, his right hand feels shaky. His head is sweating profusely. Maybe it could be stress, maybe it could be something. Liam is coming to the conclusion that he is a damned man with everyone on this ship. And everyone he's met, everyone he's seen, the only people who will survive this, from what he's done his calculations and based on everything, everyone's dead. And he sits there slumped over his at the terminal, and he realizes, okay. I've got limited time, but I can still survive. That's right. It's not over. Right, there's Ava. Ava, yes. Maybe she might know something. Maybe she's Weyland-Yutani after all, and maybe that Wilson guy knew something. But maybe. Okay, hold on. It's not over yet. We got this, Liam. As he talks to himself, and he makes his way out. And he exits the science lab, and as he's exiting, the room he's seeing, like, from the corner of his eyes, he sees, like, is that a pile of bones, like a nest or something?
Yeah, that's kind of what you would identify right there, is like there's this weird collection of different sized bones that have all been kind of collected up into this corner with dried viscera and other crap. Kind of, it's all dirty and dusty, and kind of like black mold is kind of built up all around it. Yeah, it's disgusting.
Yeah. Glenn will also add another stress from seeing that as well. Liam, again, I know I'm using his
Has
last
he
name. And
seen this already, though?
no, not Liam.
No? Okay. Sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah, Liam getting a good look at the pile, then realizes, okay, oh no, fuck this shit. Oh no, okay, yep, okay, that must be where it's brooding. And he, like, rushes over, trying his best to get out of here.
Go ahead and make me a mobility roll.
Baby, I'd love to.
Ooh, okay. 2 successes, but you panic and you drop an item. Let's see, what do you even have? Okay, so you have a personal medkit and a surgical kit. I'm gonna say you drop the surgical kit. As you're making your way kind of through, there's all this debris, these dead bodies and stuff like that. Are you rushing? Are you still running? How are you kind of making your way through?
Oh, he's rushing. He's full aware of the knowledge he possesses. He realizes time is incredibly short, so he's hauling ass to where he's trying to get to.
Okay. So yeah, as you're kind of making your way through, you end up kind of jostling yourself a little bit as you're kind of dancing over these over this debris, and as you're rushing through, you end up dropping your medical kit. You get about this far. I need you to make another mobility roll. Okay, seek cover. So you must use your max action to get away from danger as close as possible. So Liam, as you're running this way, as you get past kind of the door that you kind of ran past before, you hear a scream behind you. And this immediately makes you panic, and you realize that you need to find cover immediately. You run into here.
The bathroom.
We're gonna leave you there for
Liam.
a moment. We'll take
Yeah,
the,
go
if
for
you
it,
want a
go for it.
reaction. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Liam, as he's running, he's like, fuck, damn it. Drops his kit. And as he makes it around, yeah, he hears the screech. He's like, oh, fuck. And like he immediately, like, I'm not gonna die. Fuck. No. Closes the little bathroom door. And yeah, we'll see what happens to him.
Excellent. Okay. So pausing there for a moment, we turn briefly to Kayla Rye. You've now gotten up to onto deck B. What do you want to do when you arrive up on the ladder?
I wouldn't do anything, right?
You wouldn't have heard this quite yet. No, you're just kind of getting to the floor.
All right, I'm gonna walk out to the hallway and just kind of take a breath. I have a suit on. I'm not sure if it's holding on to my life or vice versa. I'm like trying to decide whether or not to take it off and go, or what to do now.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, actually, go ahead and make me another air supply roll. You've been panicking quite a bit. This is very stressful.
Air support rule. We're gonna get an airstrike.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, you managed to keep it together. No air loss on your suit as of yet. And so you're out in the hallway. You're taking a breath. So I would say you would be able to get rid of this panic state that you're currently in. And what do you want to do next? Or where do you want to head next?
I'm gonna try going down to the med bay because that's where Lori is, right?
That's where she would have been now.
All right, so I'm gonna kind of really hide in the spacesuit. I was gonna say I would hide, but if I can't really hide in the spacesuit, I mean, it sounds like it's.
Well, you can move like more cautiously. You can still kind of enter into kind of a stealth mode and stuff like that. So we'll kind of deal with that. So yeah, so you're making your way kind of down the hallway, and go ahead and make me an observation roll as we turn to the folks on deck D for a moment. Okay, so you do succeed. Rolled stress, but then
I
it
click on
didn't.
stress. Roll that.
Yeah, go ahead and roll that. I wonder why it didn't do it automatically. Oh wow. Okay.
So I have a fit of rage. I'm just starting to freak out, and I'm attacking the walls with my gun. I'm just not sure if I should take my suit off. I'm like 90% sure, since it was mentioned, that the inoculation's actually gonna kill me. Getting out of the spacesuit's going to kill me. Staying in the spacesuit is going to kill me. There are no good options. I go berserk.
Yeah, and you're actually just outside the hallway of the company agent suite here. Make this observation. So, okay, we will resolve that in a moment, but first let's turn to deck D. Back with the folks who are just heading into the Satillo.
God, nobody saw me at my worst. Jesus.
So Cham, for Lucas, you are just getting to that point now where you are about to cause some decompression to the umbilical. You've cut your way through kind of the outermost layer of the umbilical to such a degree that you're now cutting inside of the umbilical, if that makes sense. Okay.
Word. Groovy.
So you guys are about to open the door and to get onto this Satillo, and kind of as you do, who's kind of opening the door? Is Valerie the one kind of leading the pack here?
Yeah, Valerie wants to get everyone out.
Gotcha, understood. Okay, so as you take your hands onto the wheel of this thing, what you're expecting to happen is that there'll be a little bit of like little hiss, a little, push back a little bit as you kind of open up the vacuum of the umbilical to kind of meet the Cronus. But instead, what happens is that as you turn this door and you start to open up this thing, all of the air begins to get sucked out of the Satillo from the Cronus towards the Satillo's umbilical. So, everybody make me a mobility roll, and we'll see what kind of happens. Okay. So Valerie, as this begins to happen, you start to scream. We'll resolve everyone else's panic rolls and stuff once they do their mobility. I will roll for Mickey and Horton here. Okay. So we just need Balaji and Pin to roll mobility.
I did. What do you mean?
You did?
Yeah. It says I had a success in the panic, and I rolled a 8 panic, so I froze.
Am I allowed to use
Yeah, I see it as
overkill
well.
here to bypass my panic?
Alright, I'm scrolling through the thing and I don't see your roll anywhere. That's so weird.
Yeah, I don't either.
Matt sees it, though.
Yeah, if you go all the way to the
Nice.
bottom and right above the 2 Game Master rolls, it should be the next one right above it.
Yeah, I see Valerie Reed as the next roll there.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, really? Well, I rolled a success in the panic, and my panic was freeze.
Was
You're
freeze.
frozen by fear or stress.
Okay, weird. Might want to reconnect or something like that just to make sure everything's
Here,
working.
screenshot in chat so you can see it.
Yeah, no, I totally believe you guys. It's just weird that it's given the errors like that. Okay.
Are you on public roll still?
Well, GM should see every roll anyway.
Yeah, it's weird that.
It's weird that he can see it
Yeah,
and
exactly.
you can't.
Pin, did you make a roll yet, or am I'm just not seeing that one?
I'll refresh mine.
Pin, Kieran. Maybe you had to step away for a moment. Pin, are we there? Well, okay, so we'll wait for a second then to kind of resolve kind of what's going on here. And we'll turn back to the Cronus Beck B, and we'll get back to the roll that Rye had just made. So, Rye, you were rolling for your observation, and you ended up, you did succeed, but you've got a lot going on. Like you were saying, stressed out, everything seems like it's going downhill. There doesn't seem like there's a good solution here for how you're going to survive this thing. And as you come around the corner, you see the silhouette of something, right? You're not sure, and you've had enough, and you're gonna attack this thing until you break it. So, go ahead and toggle your combat.
Where am I?
Oh wait, I need to get counter going. There we go.
There we go. I'm gonna
And then
wreck
you're
my
getting
Android,
the-
guys.
And you're getting the jump on this person. So,
I don't see any of this. Are we supposed
oh, you
to?
don't have? Yeah, 1 second. I'll give you shared vision. Second.
You should drop Ava's thing to them. Probably easier, or mine.
Shared vision. Go. Everyone should have shared vision of Rye now. Then. Right, I was looking up.
It has me on the wrong deck, maybe? I see the.
No, I went to another deck.
Yeah, you're on
I
deck
said
two.
I was thinking I'm
You're on the
assuming going
same
to
deck
get.
as Liam, then?
Yeah.
Because that's the only character I see is Liam. I don't see
we're
you.
on the
so.
same deck. I'm a little bit over from him. Like 2
Okay.
rooms over.
You might need to if you have his token selected, you might need to like unselect his token to then see.
No, I don't have any selected.
Oh,
And I'm
sorry, I
clicking.
gotta
Oh,
bounce
wait,
up.
now I see it. Now I see
Yeah,
it.
they probably
Okay.
just had to move or something in order to get
Okay.
that going. Oh, I think Kieran's having some technical difficulties, so okay, we'll get to them in a minute.
With Berserk, can I hit her with the bolt gun, or do I need to like melees?
No, well, I'm checking the, here it is, ambush modifier. So that's what I need. Sneak attack is, okay, gotcha, okay. So no, you're within short range of Ava when you first come across her, and music is not appropriate. Second. So yeah, you're able to make a ranged combat roll onto this person who is whoever it is on here. You're gonna let him have it. So go ahead and make me a ranged combat roll with that gun, bolt gun.
Oh,
Oh, what a roll! Okay, stunts. Any stunts that you want to pull here? Yeah, +1 damage. You can pin the target, create initiatives, make them drop something. You can make them fall
I can do
back. Or push
multiple
them.
and 3 of them.
Yep, you have 3 stunts right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna pin the target and just do +2 damage.
Okay. So, double check how much the bolt gun does. Holy shit, does 3 damage? Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I know. Trust me. That's why I've been holding on to it.
Okay. So you fired this bolt gun. This is a single shot bolt that you fire at this thing. You managed to break Ava with this attack. You haven't met Ava or anything like that, so you don't know that this is Ava. But whoever this woman is, you have shot at her. Let's roll for a crit.
Give me some information.
Okay. Ooh, jeez. Okay. So here's what happens. You fire your bolt gun. This thing pierces right through the middle of her chest, kind of where you would expect a human heart to be, and it impales all the way through, all the way to the back of her, just impales her outright. And this thing forces her to collapse right to the floor as she just like starts to bleed out this white substance from the back and in front of her. And from what you can tell, he's pretty much dead.
Jesus Christ. I'm gonna close the door, go into this bathroom, and then pass out.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you head in there. Your bolt gun's just kind of slung to your side. You can't believe what the hell just happened. You don't know who that was, you don't know what that was, but you took it out and you've had enough. You kind of slump back down to the side. You might start thinking about your family back home, how you were just out here on this run to help your brother out, and what have you gotten yourself into? You kind of slump down as you kind of go a little catatonic. Hey. Wow. Into this combat counter. Kieran is not back yet. So why don't we turn back to Liam? Liam, you're still in the bathroom. And you hear noises outside of the door, some scratching noises, some sounds like if a dog or a cat or something like that was trying to muscle its way in by pawing at it repeatedly. You hear low kind of growling sounds from the outside. It seems like it's more prodding at the door, interested at the door, rather than like slamming against it or trying to break into it.
Liam, hearing all this, would put himself in a stall, and he would think, okay, right. It could be Wilson's little friend. Fuck. He checks his personal. Doesn't have anything. He dropped his surgical kit and only has his own personal medical. He realizes that he can't really go in a confrontation with anything at the risk of his own life. So then he thinks, okay, just wait him out, see if it does anything. Maybe he'll get bored. Maybe he'll leave. Maybe. Maybe. Oh.
Go ahead and make me a mobility roll.
Perfect.
Oh boy. Okay. As the door opens and you hear the steps of something coming into the bathroom, you begin to tremble as this thing steps forward. You start to hear it growling a little bit more, and as it gets right in front of your stall, you can't help yourself. It's too much. Everything, the buildup is so horrible and so terrifying as you see this thing's foot from beyond sort of the bottom of the door, and you scream. You let loose. You can't believe what is happening, and this thing pounces on you. It crashes open through the door. It lets out this horrible screaming noise, and it goes to attack you. Let's see what it does. Oh my goodness, okay. Wow, no success.
Just rip. Oh,
Okay.
whoa.
So, this thing, it grabs you by the lapels of your shirt, and as it does so, it like tears basically the jacket off of you somehow. It rips both of your arms out from the sockets as it lifts you up off of the stall, and then you kind of drop back down onto it, and it sort of like lets go of your jacket, and then is now standing in front of you. Let's initiate combat.
Okay.
Okay, so it's gonna get to go first, then you, and then it again. So, having made its kind of sneak attack, initial ambush roll, it goes to attack you once again. Okay. It pivots. It slashes at you with its sharp tail, and it pierces you right through your shirt over onto your shoulder. It's armor piercing, but not that you have any armor on anyways, and it deals 2 damage to you.
Oh. Okay. Flynn is broken.
Flynn is now broken. Okay, let's roll your critical injury. Go ahead and press that button on general.
Gotcha.
I find that sometimes you have to click it like multiple times too, so you might have to click it a few times.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay. Oh, yeah, you're right.
I don't know why it's like that.
Oh, there we go.
Ooh, okay, yeah. So when this thing slashes at you, it just instead of hitting your shoulder like I said initially, instead it digs right into your thigh, sort of going straight down into it, and then it kind of does like a cutting motion, and it severs off of your leg. You're now sitting on this toilet with this thing sort of looming over you. You can no longer run away from this thing. You'd have to make a kind of retreat roll anyways, but yeah, it's now your turn. What do you want to do?
Liam realizes that
perhaps.
Liam, as like time feels so slow despite how fast things are happening, Liam is a smart man. He knows that running with now a severe leg is gone. He's going to bleed out, or he's going to get torn asunder by this creature. The only thing he can logically think, despite all his stress, despite all the panic that is running through his mind, coursing through his body, he makes one last gambit at trying something that might just save his life. It's a chance, but he's gonna try it anyway. I'm gonna have, and I'm gonna see what action this would constitute as. Like, give me a moment. Let me see. Okay. Alright, I have two ideas in mind.
Okay.
It is grappled. I am grappled, correct?
It's not currently holding on to you, no. It slashed at you with its tail and tore one of your legs off, but no, it's not currently holding you. It did go to grab you, and it tore your jacket off instead, which was extremely lucky. But no, it is not grappling you.
Alright, I'm gonna use... Am I prone, or am I... Like, I guess I would be prone, because I would be...
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
kind
I
of still
would-
seated on the toilet seat, so you're kind of prone. You're sitting, you know.
I'm gonna use a fast action. Yeah, I'll use a fast action, and the fast action, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have Flynn, he's gonna pick up his severed leg that's nearby. He then looks up at the thing, kind of waving it at it, and he's like, "You want this, don't you? You fucking piece of shit!" And then I'm gonna have him do a throw weapon, which just means I'm just gonna have him throw the severed leg away.
Okay.
So I'll do a ranged combat, even though I'm not aiming to hit him, I'm just doing a just general throw. Flynn, if there was any time to not get fucking owned, this would be the time, buddy. Oh my god.
Ooh. Okay, one success. Yeah. So you throw this your own severed leg away from this creature, and you can't believe it, but yeah, it goes after it. It like pounces on it even, and you see that it is starting to like rip up your leg, and like it's like kind of tearing at the flesh with its claws and everything like that. It's taking a big bite out of it. What do you want to do with your slow action?
Oh, I thought the slow action was throwing.
Oh, that might be true.
Yeah. I think I'll have to wait in my next turn to do something. Hopefully the leg buys me 2 turns.
Right, yeah, okay. Let me double check what it would do. Let's see. Okay, yeah. It's going to use its next turn to focus on this leg, and it's going to just rip it to shreds. It's going to eat it, basically. It's going to just, like tear out all of its ligaments, all of its muscles, going to tear out the rest of the flesh and stuff like that. It thought it was dead already, but now it's making sure it's really dead. And then that would be its turn on the next round of combat. So now, Liam, it is your turn again.
Okay. Fuck. Liam would take this opportunity. How far can you travel
Survival.
prone? Is it like less than a zone or half a zone? I don't remember. This is where
question.
This is where it. Need to grab the alien book.
Your movement just got reduced to a
can't
crawl,
hop?
so you can still move at like your crawl speed. But if you make a mobility and like use a stunt, you can still like speed yourself up a little with stunts. But you can't-
Yeah. Well, would I make it to a zone?
I think with the alien distracted and stuff like that, with a mobility roll that's successful, I would say you could make it at least a zone, if not like a little bit, maybe a zone and a half.
Because the goal I'm trying to do is just get to the door and close the door.
Okay, yeah. I'd say you'd be able to crawl to here.
Okay,
Sure.
so then let me make that that'll be my one fast action.
Okay.
And then after, like, so pretty much how it plays this out, Liam, like, gets off the toilet, he starts crawling underneath the fucking stall, and he's, like, his face is teared up and crying in pain. He's got blood seeping out from his leg he needs to deal with, or he's gonna bleed out pretty soon. And as he crawls, he turns around through the open door, seeing the creature about finishing up with the leg. He's like, fuck, fuck, fuck! And then he kind of reaches up to hit the door panel. And that would be a... What action? Okay, that's... Because technically it's just another fast action, which is move through door and hatch. I'm going to use that action in particular to close and lock the door with a keypad that Flynn still has.
Okay. Yeah.
And then
I'd say you're able to do that. Yep.
Okay. And let me just turn him around, so... What's the... Is it rotating with control, or what was the rotation
and then the
again?
mouse wheel. Yep. Once you've got the token selected.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Okay. Let me... Okay. Yeah, and then Flynn locks the door with the key card. He takes a moment to breathe. He's like, oh, okay, fuck, my leg! And, yeah, that will be Flynn's turn.
Okay. You hear a banging noise from beyond the door. This thing has finished up with your leg, clearly. Went into the stall to double check where you were at, and found that you weren't there, and is now up against the wall trying to scratch at it and do all sorts of things. So that would be its next kind of turn there. From there, it gets to go again, and you see that it is like pounding out this door as you're kind of lying there. It's buckling from the inside, and you can see that it has penetrated the door with one of its fists as kind of its last part of its turn. All right, Liam, it's now your turn again. Go ahead and make me a survival roll.
Oh, thank God.
Excellent, yeah. So you're in very severe pain. You're bleeding out of one of your legs. You know that you have maybe a shift before this thing is going to completely kill you off from blood loss, but you're managing to keep it together for now. What are your actions?
Flynn realizes that he wouldn't be able to make it to Ava in time, assuming Ava is still in the same spot. He can't perform the surgery on himself. While he could, he needs to get a surgical kit, and he needs to find space away from this creature. Flynn immediately... let's see. Damn, I don't know. See, the leg being lost really sucks.
Yeah.
There's an idea, but I don't know if he's gonna make it in time, but by God, we're gonna try. Flynn, having a really dubious idea, something that could work to his benefit to save his life in this situation, he starts to crawl, and I'll just have a fast action where pretty much he just moves again with a fast action, and he's trying to crawl, and I'll make the ruler to give an example of what I'm trying to achieve here. So from here to the bodies.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, and your surgical kit, for reference, you dropped right around the door here, where you kind of tripped over it and stuff, right? Or no, it was back here by the bodies, right?
Yeah, I think it was amongst the bodies.
Yeah, I think you're correct. Okay. So yeah, make me a mobility roll for that one.
Oh, no.
Jesus.
Well, I mean, that kind of works out. I mean, you only have one chance you know where somewhere is going to be safe, and it's if you can get this surgical kit in order to get your leg under repair. So yeah, so despite your panic, you did have 2 successes, so I'm gonna count that as an overall success, and you do manage to drag yourself, trail of blood leading all the way down over to these bodies, where you then are able to pick up your surgical kit.
Jesus fucking Christ! What a panic roll to get. Of all of them to get.
Right.
That being the case, Flynn, like, leaving this snail trail of blood, he's pouring out. He's getting a little woozy. He realizes he doesn't really have time to really do the surgery yet. He needs to just bare his teeth. He's able to, and the other action I'm gonna have him do is pick up his surgical kit, which will be a slow action, and then the last thing, and if you'll let me have it, is I'm just gonna have Flynn bury himself under one of the bodies and be amongst the dead.
Okay, yeah, kind of play dead. Yeah, I would say that you're able to kind of do that. You kind of slumped over. Your leg is really selling the illusion that you're just part of this scene that's kind of taking place all over the floor. And as you kind of slump over and kind of get yourself underneath one of these bodies, you hear a door kind of slam, kind of open.
Flynn's like, I just gotta stay alive. I just gotta stay alive. I can make it. I can do this. And he shuts up now after hearing the door slam.
And you see this thing come through here. It's following the trail of blood. And it goes right past you. Makes its way down this way. Now, I want to pause for a moment on our current scene. Seems like Kieran maybe is having some technical difficulties or isn't able to rejoin at the moment. Because they've kind of disconnected from Discord. Looks like Stan's tried to contact him and not answering their phone. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're just after 6 p.m. Didn't think we were going to go for another session, I'll be honest. I was pretty sure this was going to be the finale, but given some of the technical issues that we were having, and I was about to go back to the scene where Pin would be, what are we thinking? Should we postpone, do a finale, a fourth session, so we can get Kieran back? Should I just take control of the character? What are we kind of thinking?
I mean, I would be okay if we had to postpone it till next weekend. I mean, I don't mind hopping in chat with you guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so that's 3 for kind of waiting. Dayflower, Laz, any
I don't
different
mind
thoughts?
it. Yeah, we can do another session.
Yeah,
I think the last one isn't going to be too long. It seems like the writing is really on the wall at this point.
Yeah, we're at kind of some of the final kind of confrontations and things at this point. So, but okay,
there's
yeah,
literally,
yeah.
There's anyone who dies past this point, there's no more characters. Spoilers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is definitely the end. Like I said, I thought this was going to be our finale. We'd maybe go for like another hour or so. You know what I mean? But given some of the technical limitations and stuff, okay, so we will call it here for now. Turn off the action music. And yeah, we'll do one more session kind of to finish up and stuff once we're all back next Saturday.
Oh man, it's gonna be a good finale.
Yeah, kind of a breakup of the suspense we had built up until this point, and the tension and stuff like that. But that's okay, you know, things happen, right? So we'll do we'll do one more. It'll be fine.
I
Great
don't
stuff,
think
everyone,
anyone is
though.
probably mad at doing one more, right?
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm all for it.
Yeah, no, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. Man, some dice rolls though. Holy fuck.
Damn, the dice gods have been kind to y'all. Y'all should be dead by now or fucked. One or the other.
You should be dead by
Real.
now. What do you mean? Walking in space and shit.
Oh, I'm definitely fucked.
You got
I
lucky
think-
that Lurk wanted you to not die. That's what happened.
Hey, 3 strikes felt like a good rule. I don't know.
Yeah, in fairness, it's definitely not a bad idea. Space can be a massive massive player killer in these games for sure.
Oh, also, don't forget you have that backup air supply, Our Man.
Oh yeah, I'm planning on probably maybe killing that and waking up while like I don't know the air. I'm unsure yet though. You see me just rolling them. I'm just rolling. I'm like time's going by. I'll hit that air shit. I just freaked out and I blasted that android. Sorry, Laz. You probably had a lot better chance to survive with her alive, but I had to freak out because I just didn't notice something. I just didn't notice something. Right?
It definitely, I don't know. That whole situation with Ava definitely, it complicates things, but thing is, Wilson's dead, so not really a factor anymore. I'm just trying to fucking, I'm trying to survive as fucking Flynn right now, and I'm like in an actual horror movie. Like fucking, I'm like an actual alien victim.
like-
It's terrifying.
Good ingenuity though, especially hiding amongst the bodies. That's fucking Kino.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. You sometimes when you have nothing, like Flynn has literally not a goddamn thing. You gotta think on your feet, and you gotta be like, okay. Because the big thing for me is I had to make a couple really important rolls. Otherwise, I was cooked. Like it was not gonna happen. But thankfully, I mean, the leg being gone kind of fucking sucks. But you know, hey, we make it work.
With one leg, does like a mobility roll get you a lot farther? Because you could like get yourself up on a leg and hop really quick rather than like crawl.
Yeah, it's really weird with that one because you can't run, but you can still roll, which is just as fast as running, and you can still jump. I'm like, I don't understand.
Yeah, they don't really. So like with critical injuries, they're kind of all over the place. Some are pretty clear cut, like having your head crushed in. Yeah, you're dead. Your leg being severed is pretty bad because it's a permanent thing, and obviously there's blood loss, but mechanically you kind of have to interject and be like, okay, well, my leg is gone, GM, so I can't, do what other people can do because I'm one-legged. But thankfully, crawling still acts as a movement in this game. Now, realistically, if I was being chased, I think I'd have a better chance with 2 legs than 1, because crawling, you can't really do a lot in crawling because you're considered prone, and when you're in the prone state, you're kind of your options are really limited.
Yeah.
Either way, I'm a survivor, baby. I'm in full. We went from scumbag to survivor mode.
Is Flynn running away from what became of Wilson?
Yes.
That's funny.
Sometimes
It's really funny.
It all comes back, baby. It all comes back. Wilson lives on as a fucking monster. Still a monster.
As he was in life, as he is in death.
And now he gets to try to kill your next guy.
I'm gonna be honest.
This mission is not changed.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm rooting for one player. There's one player who can do this, and I'm rooting for them. But good luck, everyone, because things are not good for anyone.
Yeah, it's kind of good actually that we're taking a little bit of a pause, because now I can figure out some stuff a little bit with how things have developed. So.
Speaking of figuring stuff out, after all this, I need to see you and Laz in World of Darkness channel.
Okay.
Spoilers.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, well played, everyone. That was fun.
Yeah, unfortunate technical issues, but that's okay. It just means the fun goes on for longer. That's okay.
Indeed.
Oh yeah.